Going live. Somebody put up a video on YouTube that is just someone is out on a trail and a wolverine walks past them carrying a severed goat head in its mouth.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome, but also...
Yeah, right? That's fucking terrifying. That's fucking cool.
Yeah. Okay. That should be set. Things good there. Alright. There. Yeah, let's go and get on that. Then we need a tweet to go out too. So this and so Twitter. Get on the TableTalk account. Okay. Yeah.
I see how you fuckers changed my goddamn profile picture in the thumbnails.
Yeah, you better put your profile picture to what it is. That was made for you.
No.
Oh.
I wanna.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep it on the thumbnails because it's cool.
Son of a bitch. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to TableTalk Discussion and Discourse. I, as always, am your host, Alejo, aka the worst reindeer ever, Graydon95.
Yeah, and I'm your third host. The same one as all the time.
That is true.
Yes.
Aiden's
not here because he's got school.
Yeah, he's got stuff to do, so it's unfortunate. But
oh man, I'm sure he would love this. Actually,
I'm sure.
That's
a
shame.
Can't stand in the way of progress, as this came out like when I was told about it. It was like 14 hours old, and I was just like, oh my god.
Well, time to talk about this.
Time to talk about Cody for the first time in a while. It's been quite a bit. Yep. The last time we talked about him, I think it was the Pathfinder versus D&D 5e, like the 2e versus 5e video that he did, which was fine. It had some things that were wrong, but it was fine.
It pretty much agreed with all the stuff that we liked about it as well.
Yes, very much so. And then he had some things that were like, but that also applies to 5e, so what are you doing?
Yeah.
And let's see. Yeah, he put out this video rather recently called I'm Quitting Pathfinder 2e because of this issue.
Instead of making the video just I'm quitting Pathfinder 2e because of blank.
Right.
Instead of doing because of this issue.
Right,
so
because it's a nebulous thing, and now you're like, hey, what is it?
Yeah, what's this issue? Better click on the video.
I don't care at this point. That's whatever.
Yeah.
For that one. But yeah, excited to see the entirety of it. We will have a grand old time. I promise it'll be fun.
I'm sure.
So yeah, without further ado, oh man, here we go.
Yay.
I think I was wrong. It happens. And as I've gotten a little older and hopefully a little wiser, I realized that cutting your losses is always the better option than to dig in and continue to lie to yourself. But I think I'm ready to admit it now publicly. I don't think I like Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And more importantly, I think I finally understand what it is that I don't like. I have to say something here that I think is important. I am biased. I have been biased. I've always been a little biased towards Paizo because frankly, they've always treated me very, very well, and I mean that. I mean, as an example, I sit here with 250,000 plus subs after years of being a brand advocate for D&D, and Wizards of the Coast could not care less than they do. I mean that. They literally won't even send me a new book. I mean, even with Tasha's, you could see that they sent out books early to dozens of Twitter peeps with a few thousand Twitter followers. Now, before people lose their cool, I'm not saying that I'm some savant because of my subscriber count. I'm saying Wizards clearly is sending out books to influencers, and I ain't on that list, if you get my drift. Meanwhile, Paizo has personally mailed me tons of books and continues to send me PDFs of their new products. James Sutter, the lead writer for Starfinder, came onto my channel at just a couple thousand subs here before they even changed the Starfinder logo from teal, that original teal that it was, to the orange it is now. I was even part of the Starfinder premiere, which is something that blows my mind. And from Aaron to Jason, Keeley that is, to Owen and James and Dan before they left, and even Bowman and Mona were super friendly to me when I went up and bothered them at Gen Con. Their entire staff is frankly made up of awesome people who have always treated me very, very well. And so, why am I telling you guys this?
That's a great
because
question.
I think context matters. I like Paizo. I loved Pathfinder First Edition. I really enjoyed the little bit of Starfinder that I actually got to play. I want Paizo to do well. I am, without a doubt, a little biased.
Okay. Yes, I'm glad. You want a company to do well. Good.
Yeah, like,
cool.
Okay, we get it.
I'm glad, like, I'm not, I guess if it's important to you to tell us this, that's fine, but you can just leave it at I'm biased. That's fine.
Yeah, and, like, this, honestly, this whole thing really, really reeks of fishing for views, because, well here's the thing, it's because, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. There's a guy on YouTube who's super, super funny. His name is JP Sears.
JP. I might have heard
he is, God, I don't really even know what he is, but basically think of him kind of like a really, really funny and intelligent motivational speaker. Kind of think of it like that. Okay. And he does a lot of satirical parody videos. One of the ones that I showed to Aiden was if vegans acted like meat eaters, or if meat eaters acted like vegans.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so someone's eating a salad, he pushes away a steak. I've completely lost my appetite, you know. So really, really funny stuff.
Gotcha.
But
some sketches.
Yeah. And one of the things that he did was a video basically parodying and making fun of people who go on social media detoxes.
Okay.
And so the whole video basically revolves around, oh, you need to make sure that you announce it to people. You need to, you know, when you come back, you need to say how transformative of a thing it was. You need to do this and this and this. Sure. And when you're not on social, if you can be on social media, just don't post on it, you know, things like that. This really, really reeks of that kind of thing. If you want to quit something, you don't need to make a video about it. You don't need to make this big, long-winded thing explaining every little thing about why you're quitting it. Just quit it. You don't have to. Yeah. That's why it really feels like it's fishing for views.
I understand where you're coming from. Pizza Funk comes in with the great. Does Cody fear disappointing Paizo? Is this his fear thing again?
Damn it! I'm not in the chat. Fuck.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that's you fucking spot on. Good shit. Good meme. No, so I don't. This is the thing that's weird about this for me is just it's one of those. I can understand you saying that you have a bias. Good. Keep that there because people should know when you have a bias, and it's good to be self-aware of when you have a bias.
Yes.
I don't think you need to go in and say and literally compliment every single person that works at Paizo. I'm sure you're not complimenting every single one, but like the major name drops, very. I get that you're in the industry. Cool. I don't know these people, and I don't think I need to really learn their names for myself, because I don't see myself interacting with them, and if I do, I will learn their names. Yeah. But at this point, it's like you're just saying names to me that I don't know, right?
Yeah.
It's very strange. This isn't some airport. You don't need to announce your departure. Thank you, Ronald.
That's a fantastic way to put it.
That's very good. It's very good. So, what I assume, right? This is literally because he praised it so much before, and he's trying to already put some throw water on the fire that he thinks is gonna come, which has come a little bit. Like a bunch of people, literally Juice, Brogan. I've seen
XP level 3 apparently.
Did he? I didn't see that.
That was in the tweet where he was being real patronizing.
Oh right. Well, it seems like it was. I don't know if he was trying to be. Again, I'll keep. I know I've said a lot of things about Cody before. I'm trying to keep myself neutral. But
now that Aiden's not here,
yes, I gotta rein it in.
Because I won't stop you.
I know you won't. But no, legitimately, I've seen these people talking about it, and it's like, yeah, you're trying to throw that all on the fire right now beforehand, just to go, okay, guys, there's no ill will here. Which, again, I never expect there to be, okay?
Yeah, you're free to have an opinion.
Yes, exactly. This is the whole thing of yes, you have an opinion. You can criticize things that you like or you don't like. It's not saying, hey, I want Paizo to fail. That's so weird that you need to make the clarification of, I want Paizo to succeed.
Yeah,
it's
right?
No shit, you... I understand there are some companies out there that do things, and then people go, these people shouldn't... And for some, it's, for good reasons, because, hey, they do, bad things that are illegal.
Fucking Fate of Cthulhu.
Oh, well, that too. I mean, but no, it's one of those things where it's I don't expect you to be irrational and go, I'm going to throw the entire company. Also, he can't do that.
Yeah.
He literally can't, because that is kind of a bit of career suicide.
Yeah.
Because even though this is for Paizo and Wizards doesn't care, Wizards could, if you raised enough of a stink with that and said everything about it is bad, because then they go, oh, if Wizards, if we do something bad, then he'll also raise this thing, so we won't care about him even more, right?
Oh.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I thought you were referring to the race thing.
Oh, that? No, that Wizards might...
enough of a stake, they'll actually
do fucking Wizards with that thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. But, sorry you haven't been able to, get Wizards to give you things, I guess. You shouldn't need to.
Here's the thing. I feel okay, how long has Paizo been a thing?
I have no idea. I can check.
Okay. Because the thing is, when a company is small-ish and they're still trying to grow, of course they're going to reach out. I'm not trying to say that, what Paizo does is fake.
No, of course not.
This is trying to get the attention of, I don't know. This is trying to get the attention of Hostess and your local bakery. You know what I mean? Hostess don't give a shit about you. They got bigger Twinkies to fry.
Paizo was founded in 2002.
Okay.
Been around for 18 years.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Wizards has been around a lot longer.
Yeah, that's true.
And so Wizards has Dungeons and Dragons. They've got Magic the Gathering and a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't know, because I pretty much don't care about whatever else they do.
Yeah. That's fair.
So
they were founded in 1990. So yeah, they've got 10 years.
Okay, yeah, they got 10 years on them.
Yep.
And D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, have been around way longer than even that.
Yes, very true.
And so when you have a company that has these enormous properties, they're not gonna give a shit about you because they don't have to.
They don't have to. No.
Because they don't need Cody to advertise for them.
They really don't at this point.
They can advertise on their own.
And to be fair, Paizo doesn't really either, but the fact that they are friendly to creators is really cool, and like it just adds to that thing. Because legitimately, I think all of us have been like, Paizo is way cooler of a company than Wizards is.
Yes, I agree. and I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not saying that they're not fake. That they're fake.
Yeah.
But when you're a smaller company and you need advertising and you want to make a good impression, you go out of your way to do stuff like this. But when you're a huge company that doesn't need to worry about that, you don't.
Yeah, maybe when Wizards learns what a PDF means, they would send more copies. No, see, they know what PDFs are. They just know that they can make money off them, so they put it into D&D Beyond, so they don't give anybody anything. By saying he's biased here, he actually lends his later argument more credibility. That's not what disclaimer normally does. What's disclaimer normally does? So, okay, wait. So you mean later on another argument that he does is more credible because he's biased? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Then
that's fair.
I guess we'll get to that. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to there.
Yeah, good to know.
Hopefully that it does help. But regardless, we'll see what his arguments are.
Yeah, let's continue.
But, and this is a big but, I'm done. At least for the moment with Pathfinder. I really thought I was going to do a bunch of coverage on the channel for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I thought, oh great, I can do class videos and builds and this and that and this, and I just didn't. And I didn't fully understand why I was so disinterested in making those videos. And even the videos I did make about Pathfinder, like my kind of popular comparison of Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition and Pathfinder 2e, even in that, I was still fairly critical of the system. I've been running a page.
As you should be.
Yes.
Always be critical.
There's nothing wrong with being critical about something that you like.
Please. God, please.
Yeah.
Patreon campaign through Age of Ashes for Pathfinder 2e for an entire year now, or coming up on a year here in just a few weeks. And I finally understand why. I think I understand why. I don't care for the system. For me, it can all be summed up with 3 words. Illusion of choice. The thing.
What?
So
okay,
why?
So we'll get to it, but I want to preface a couple of things here. Apparently, and I was talking to Brogan, aka No Nat Ones, the other day because he had already made a video actually responding to this. And he told me that Age of Ashes is like one of the earliest adventures that Pathfinder has put out.
Okay.
So like pretty early adventure, and I'll check Age of Ashes just to fact check because this is important. Age of Ashes release date. Yes. So this was no, it was it Hell Knight Hill? Did he say?
I don't care for this.
It was Age of Ashes.
For me, it can all be summed up with 3 words.
Okay.
Age of
yeah, right. Age of Ashes. Oh, I think
it's the one with
Pathfinder.
3 dudes and a red dragon on the right. That's the cover image.
Okay. Let me look. Age of Ashes Adventure Path. There we go.
Yeah.
This was released. Oh no, this is 2019. Hold on. Oh, wait. There's a couple of Age of Ashes things.
Oh.
Ooh.
Is it a reprint of an older adventure?
I don't know. Let me see. It's the 25th Pathfinder Adventure Path. Okay, so that's not it. Okay. Then that's wrong. What I've been told. But maybe it's for a different thing later on. Okay, I guess never mind. I retract for now.
Okay. For now.
Yeah, I don't. We'll see.
Yeah.
Illusion of choice. The one thing I loved about Pathfinder 2e was its combat. I love the idea of 3 actions, the way that spell casting with multiple actions work. I actually liked the active defending and the way the attack of opportunity.
Ronald says it's the first 2nd edition adventure path. Oh, okay, so wait. Oh, yeah. It is the first adventure path to use the 2nd edition rules for Pathfinder role-playing game. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Gotcha.
So,
okay, then.
So what I've been told, then I will now get into my point. Age of Ashes is widely considered to be not the best one because it's the first one, and they were still kind of figuring out the system.
It was the first adventure to use the rules. So it was, that, and you can't exactly. It's hard to patch a book.
Well, that's also, there's another thing to that of like, patch it however you need to with your own mind.
Exactly.
And like I get that you want to run through an adventure to get familiarized with the system. Sure, that's fine. I haven't read this book yet. I want to now just to see. But apparently it's really rough. So, see. But if it's because of this book, then I guess more research into that is necessary.
Yeah.
Opportunity were handled and changed from 3.5 in Pathfinder 1st Edition. I loved the idea that I could make 3 shoves in a turn if I wanted, because that's how the action economy worked. And to be honest, at lower levels, the issues that eventually creep into the game aren't there yet. At lower levels, the combat still feels maybe a little bit frustrating with the multi-attack penalty, which I did mention, but that's about it. Everything else still feels pretty decent, if I'm being honest.
It feels.
But as the players begin to level, patterns emerge. And when I say patterns, I mean cookie cutter patterns, regardless of how the combats begin to take shape, regardless of the variance in enemies and backdrops and surprise ambushes or dockside brawls or dragon totems out in the jungle. The players all do the exact same thing over and over and over and over again. Why? Because that's how they built their characters. And I came up with a great analogy when talking to my brother about it. Pathfinder 2e plays like an MMO with rotations. If anyone watching this has ever played World of Warcraft or Star Wars: The Old Republic, you'll know exactly what I mean by this. If you haven't, what I mean is there is an optimal set of actions that you need to do over and over and over again to perform well. For my swashbuckler player, it's tumble through, panache, sneak attack, confident finisher, over and over and over again. For the ranger, it's hunt prey, hunted shot, throw in a third shot that usually misses. My druid player just this week asked me if they could go back and retcon some of their character abilities because they were getting bored just turning into dinosaurs and dragons to bite and claw things over and over again.
You turn into a dragon?
Well, you could do that if you're a spellcaster in D&D as well, if you want to polymorph into a dragon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I guess when I think druid, I think, it's always animals, not a dragon.
It may be, I don't know, maybe Pathfinder's a little different with that.
Yeah.
I haven't read into druid too much. But, have they tried not doing that?
Yeah, I mean, see, here's the thing. You're blaming the system for people min-maxing.
So this is the thing, right? Combat isn't everything, first off. Combat is just a big part sometimes. It depends on the kind of campaign you're playing, right?
Yeah.
And apparently, and I'm going to assume, and I think it's a safe assumption, that your campaign has, or your book that you're running, you do a lot more combat than anything.
Yeah, it sure seems like it.
I don't know entirely, and again, it is an adventure, so you go from point A to point B, and then there's probably a fight in between, right? Or 3, who knows? But okay, so being optimal is a way to play.
Yeah,
you don't have to play that way. Like, I know everybody wants to do the big damage and the big numbers and stuff. That's fine, but sometimes you don't. It's hard to make this kind of. I don't want to be condescending, but it's really not. It's not hard. It's not easy to not be condescending when it's just like.
When it's just such a simple solution.
It is a simple concept of. You can either do it that way or you can not do it that way. And I hope later on he talks about how. Like, it is literally impossible to not play that way, because otherwise I don't understand.
And here's the other thing. If you start to see this kind of a thing arise, how about you just talk to your players?
You could do that.
Because, here's the thing. you know how I gave Boris kind of a big ability?
Yeah.
That's once a day.
Yep.
You can't do that with some of your character super abilities?
Well, so, like...
I get it. Like, you want to be able to do it, then make it once per fight. Or something.
Right. There are ways
There's ways you can work around this. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
If your players are getting bored with the combat, ask them what they want out of the combat. Tell them why they're being bored by it. I'm bored in combat because I have to do the same thing over and over again. Well, first off, you don't.
No,
2,
you don't.
how can we here's the question you need to ask. Here is the question that he needs to ask. What can I do that would make you break out of this cycle?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, and it seems like there are 2 ways that I could see that could help this. And I'm going to use an example of a dockside fight, and we'll go with that.
Sure.
So imagine you're on the docks and you're fighting like some smugglers or something. You run in, you do your thing, and you blow up the first few guys. Then more guys rush out of the alleyways because one lets out, like, someone on the ship blows a horn or something. Some guys run out of like some warehouses and they're brandish swords that come after you. So now you've got more things to deal with. If you have already implemented the whole once per battle super move, you've already changed the way they need to play. 2, if that's not how you want to go, you need to start doing more interesting things with your setting. If you're on a dockside thing and you're fighting people who are smuggling shit, they're most likely going to have a ship of some sort. Have archers spring up out of the crow's nest and start shooting down at you.
Sure. Do that.
That way you've really changed the whole dynamic of the fight, because now because you can't easily take those guys out. You're going to need to like take cover and fight the guys who are coming towards you, and then have your archer or caster deal with the guys up there. That way you're actually making them think.
Yeah.
So,
like, okay, so another thing is, like, if you're following it completely rules as written, like, you're following the book exactly to a T, maybe you could spice it up with your own flair.
Yeah,
make it more memorable to, like, actually add your own creativity to it.
The same quote. Are you doing this? Then just don't.
Yeah, right.
You should just not.
Well, so yeah, I don't know, because, like, again, and maybe he'll get into it later, and if he does, then we can actually analyze that. But, like, just because, like, I could say this about D&D as well. There are optimal ways to play D&D.
Yeah.
You can just do the optimal thing every time.
Yeah, you can totally do. I mean, hell, Aiden always has lots of stories where he totally digs going into a dungeon and taking it out like SWAT officers.
Right? Yeah. No,
you go in, you kick down the door, you do your control spell, you rush in there, you kill everything as quick as possible, you check your corners, next room.
And if that's not what you want to do, then don't do that.
Yeah, if you don't want, God, it's so. This is so frustrating, because apparently this is such a big issue for everybody on the internet, when the answer is just don't.
Yeah, just do it the way that you feel like is most fun. I don't know.
Yeah, do it a different way.
Like, because, and again, I don't know how hard an encounter is in Age of Ashes. I don't know that.
Yeah.
Depending on how hard it is. Right. Like, I can imagine, hey, maybe we could play it optimally when it matters more, I guess. Like, man, I don't know. I really don't know. It's so weird. It's such a weird thing to just go, I have to play optimally all the time. Like,
yeah, and it sounds like they've built their characters with nothing but combat in mind.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, and the other thing is, like, when you say you have these certain things that you can do and you will do every time, you've built your character that way regardless. Like, how abilities that your character gets, those are the abilities your character has.
Yeah.
Are we not gonna complain that every character can't do everything, I guess, right? Because like, if you don't want to do something, then I don't know why you picked it.
Yeah,
like,
why?
It was really good at the time. Good, great. Now you have it. Now you have the choice to use it or not. And yes, I guess if you want... What is the intention of your combat? Are you trying to just finish it as soon as possible? Are you trying to... what? I understand you don't want to die. That's the main thing, right? You don't want to die. Okay. Getting hit a couple of times doesn't mean you're going to die necessarily.
Especially Pathfinder.
Well, yeah, exactly. It could. I don't know. It depends on what the challenge is. I need more information, and please, Cody, if you could give it to us in this video, that'd be great. Please.
Well, we can hope.
We'll see.
We can certainly hope.
The Druid. Historically, which is to say since 3rd edition D&D back in 2000-ish, has been one of the most versatile classes in the game. Here we are, 20 years later in Pathfinder 2nd edition. The illusion of choice is so overwhelming in a system built around combat, let's be honest, it is, that it's quite literally boring my player. And before you dismiss what I'm saying here as hyperbole, let me give you some additional context.
Oh, thank you.
Back at the end of Book 2 of Age of Ashes, my players TPK'd. Something I haven't had happen in a game in 22 plus years behind the screen. I've had plenty of character death, but never a complete wipe before. And so...
Also tough.
This Druid player is already bored of his character just between the levels of 9 to 12. That's how little choice they feel they have after initiative has been rolled. That is staggering, guys. That is staggering. We've moved from tier 2 into tier 3 play, and the player's character doesn't even have enough in the tank to keep them interested.
Okay, so I want to stop it right here just for a moment. Alejo.
Hello.
When you're playing the D&D campaign, and when we start combat,
yes,
how many options do you have?
Quite a few, to be fair. It depends. Now that I have Jerry, I have more because now I can use those construct spells or infusions that I have. So, that
so
plus, plus all the summoning shit that I can do.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I haven't done for a while. So.
Yeah, you haven't done those for a while because I don't know if you've bought many parchments.
Oh, I haven't even used that much. I still have drawings that I've made a while ago.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I'm just saving them.
By the way, you should probably get a drawing of hill giants as well.
Oh, that is just
an idea.
Yeah,
because I just noticed you hadn't been drawing much of anything. Not the gray
to be fair, I kind of didn't really think about it too much. But yeah, you're right.
That's fine. But yeah, okay, let's think of it this way. In 5th edition, at let's say, I don't know, at level 5 or we'll do level 10.
Okay.
How many options does a fighter have?
Ooh, depends on what subclass they took.
So
if
we'll say they're a champion.
Okay, let me find let me open up my thing for
because I'm trying, whenever I had a character that was starting out and got around those levels, it usually got to the point where I was like, okay, I attack, I reload, that's it. Or I cast one spell.
Sure.
I don't know why. This just feels like. So it feels like the same kind of argument, the exact kind of argument you could make for any given D&D character. That's what this feels like to me.
I agree because, again, isn't that his player's fault? The DM can't make you like your own character. That's on the player. That is true. That is a fair point.
Yeah.
So one thing that I gotta, and I'm in the Pathfinder PDF that I have from buying it that one time. I'm looking at Druid, right? Because Druid is the big example right now. Because versatility. Now, let me see about. They have spells.
Yes.
I was looking to see if they had spells, but they do. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like there's spellcasters.
There's not many choices.
So yeah, so I guess optimal play would be always transforming into the Tyrannosaurus. Sure.
I guess,
but you don't have to do that. Who is forcing you to do that?
Yeah,
right?
If you're okay. There's actually a video.
Sure.
If you've ever, I'm sure you've at least heard the name Vsauce.
I have, yeah.
Okay. He has a series called Mind Field.
Yes, yep.
It's a YouTube Red series.
Okay.
And there was a time a while back where he had one that was for free that you could watch.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about boredom.
Okay. Oh, I think I saw that one, yeah.
Okay. And here's what happens. They take a guy, I don't remember exactly the circumstances of this test. They take a guy and they put him in a room. Oh wait, no.
It was
Here's
him.
What it is.
It was he himself, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was not him.
Oh,
he was watching. This happened before. I know what you're talking about, though. That's toward the end. Okay. So they get a guy, and they tell him that it's like, here, go ahead and hold this thing. I think it was like a little ball with metal contact points. If you hold it and you touch both contact points, it shocks you and it hurts, and then you drop it.
Oh, okay. Yep. I can see where this is going.
Yeah. So what they do is they ask him to wait for someone to come and see him. They put him in a room with the shocker ball right next to him. Mm-hmm. And they just have him wait. Mm-hmm. Then he doesn't have his phone. Like he turned his phone off. There's no TV. There's nothing. There's not really anything in the room. There's like shelves and furniture, but there's no books or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And they have him sit there until the point where the guy essentially gets so bored just waiting that he picks up the shocker and hurts himself purposefully just to not be bored.
Exactly.
And then as soon as once he does that, they come in and be like, hey, so why'd you do that?
Right. Yeah. Fair.
And they ask what went through his head and all that. It's just a little bit of a social experiment. And that is what this is making me think of. If you are bored, the human mind will hurt itself to not be bored. Mm-hmm. And yet you're continuing to do the thing that makes you this bored.
That is a fair point. Yeah.
So I'm really getting the impression that this is more a player issue.
Yes.
Because if I'm a druid, I've wanted to play druids a lot because I love animals.
Sure. Yeah.
And I would have all these different transformations. It's wild shape. You can wild shape into lots of different stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just pick the same thing every single time because that's boring. Why would you do that? Dude, if you can turn into a T-Rex, turn into a rock, turn into a basilisk, turn into something interesting.
And I'll tell you a couple of things. Because I've been looking at this. At 12th level, you can take dragon shape, which gives you the ability to become different dragons.
Yeah.
A dragon. I don't know. Wait. Yeah, you take a dragon form. You gain resistance 5 to your choice. So I assume that makes you into a different dragon, right? Before that, with the dinosaur shape, it was you can become dinosaurs. Plural.
Yes.
That's
just
any
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Not a T-Rex.
Not a T-Rex.
Dinosaurs.
Right. And I can understand it. Again, I assume, and I'm probably right to assume, that the Tyrannosaurus Rex does the most damage out of all the dinosaurs. Sure.
It does.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, in Pathfinder as well.
In the 5e monster manual, it's the most powerful dinosaur.
Yeah. It seems it's classically always that way.
Yes.
So. Yes, taking that every time will make you do the most damage. Again, as a druid, you have spells.
Yeah, you have spells.
You have the ability to do anything that you want to in the scene, right?
Yeah.
As long as the scene isn't a blank slate of nothing, and then you're just fighting another guy there, Yeah. Even with that, you have other things you could do. You could go and try to jump kick it. I don't know. It would be stupid, right? But maybe you want to do something more spicy. I don't know.
This is blowing my mind. In these games that we have consistently said are basically the embodiment of freedom of choice.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
You can do anything you want.
Yes.
And you choose to do the exact same thing over and over again. It's not because the system is boring and there's an illusion of choice. It's because you're boring. I'm sorry.
I don't even know. I don't it. Somehow they have been made to feel like they have to do this every time.
Yeah,
and I don't know why that is because again, if he clarifies with like stats, I guess, because not everybody's going to own Age of Ashes. So at this point, we're just people looking in at your argument and going, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It's one, there's 6 books to this, apparently.
Jesus.
Because it's a tiered adventure, right? It goes through the whole campaign, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And, yeah, I don't know. Excuse me. That is technically on me as well for not knowing about it to now counter with examples in the book. But at the same time, I would like more clarification in your video to give you a stronger hill to stand on.
We're not gonna get it.
I know. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Let's continue. Sorry for
the
the
system
the
built around both combat and character customization as its strengths. Why? Because of illusion of choice. Let me give you another example of an issue that
a third one.
Before we get to the... So, again, you say illusion of choice. You're just saying that.
Yeah, you're just saying it.
I
haven't given an example as to why there's an illusion of choice yet.
The other thing that I would say is it an illusion of choice when other people can go through that adventure? And again, I don't know if this is the case, but let me posit something. Can other people go through the adventure as all the same class? Like, is that like, does that mean that there's illusion of choice? Because do you need the cleric? Do you need the healing from that, right? Like, is that absolutely vital to such a degree? Or is it, like, the dice rolls that are made are just, like, they themselves are random, so anything could happen in that moment? Like, I don't understand how it can be an illusion when randomness is literally a part of it, right? Because you can't account for the way that the die will roll unless you have a weighted die.
Yeah.
Right? So how can we get to this point of I can't choose anything but the correct thing because that is the only option?
Yeah, like, it's not a Phoenix Wright game. You don't have just one option.
Right.
I feel to this constant repetition. Let's talk about spells, casting magic, and the action economy. Okay. Here's probably the biggest lapse in judgment I've had when initially evaluating Pathfinder 2e. Originally, I loved the concept and mechanics presented. And honestly, even with the critique I'm about to give, I still think it's so close to being spectacular. But ultimately, it only compounds our previous issues of illusion of choice and is a significant factor in giving the players a feeling of being forced into a set of actions each turn. If you don't know, the system is simple on the surface. Every spell has a set number of actions that either can or in many cases must be used to cast them. Typically, this is 2 actions. So a level 5 banishment spell takes, you guessed it, 2 actions to cast. Okay. Additionally, some spells can be cast with more or less actions, and that will affect how powerful the spell is when it's cast. The best example of this is Magic Missile. If you spend 1 action, you get 1 dart, 2 actions gives you 2 darts, and 3 gives you 3. Go figure. It's beautifully elegant on the surface. But the issue is, no matter how many actions you use to cast Magic Missile or a similar spell, you still spend the exact same spell slot, which, going back to the point I'm driving home in this video, leads to exactly 0 players using the spell without its full set of actions. Anything less than 3 is literally less efficient.
Okay, so hyperbole.
You couldn't cast a spell and then move?
Hyperbole. I fucking hope, because no. Why would I? Okay, unless I am completely safe in my one spot all the time, then why am I not, like, in that case that you have made, like, you haven't even given me the example of what like the scenario that like to create this to happen, because again, unless I am safe in this one spot the entire time we are playing the game, basically, I never have to move, right? Hello, Cameron. If unless we are safe in that one fucking spot, then we can't do that, right? Because again, I don't know if are we playing different. Are your enemies static? Do they stand still? Do they not advance to try to hurt the other guy?
here's another thing. Are your enemies not targeting the wizard?
Right, like that, and like, is there no, like, and if they are, does he just not get hit?
Do you not have archers, ranged people?
That's what I was gonna ask. If you have archers, don't they want to get into cover? Like, don't your wizards want to get into cover, or your druids, or anybody who isn't a Tyrannosaurus Rex, basically at that point?
Well, see, that's the thing, though. They also have polymorph. They also transform themselves into a T-Rex.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's fair.
See, you're not thinking. You're not thinking like Cody.
I'm not thinking optimally. You're right.
Yeah. See, the problem here's what you do.
Right.
You get a wizard.
Okay.
And you have him create 3 scrolls of polymorph, so that when you start
everyone
fighting, you
becomes
all
a
turn into
T-Rex.
T-Rexes.
You're right. Nah, guys,
hell.
The most infinitely customizable party setups, character creation, random dice rolls, and dungeons are just an illusion.
It's
No, exactly. Like it doesn't make sense to just say it's an illusion of choice when you literally cannot predict how things will go. Like, you have a general framework, but again,
unless you play with the most boring
I was actually
going
to say, yeah, unless your players are literally committed to doing the same thing over and over again, no matter what. If they are committed to doing that, then you can literally know whatever's going to happen in every fight. So then you just throw them a curveball.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
The environment is as much a factor, a character, I guess, an enemy or an ally as you make it, right? So putting fog to roll in at some point might not be in the book, but if you make fog roll in, shit.
Yeah, dude.
You've got obscuring. You've got, like, the archers now can't fucking see their targets as well, and so they're blind firing and maybe hitting their own guys. I don't know.
Yeah, not to mention it's all, like, in the fog, it's significantly quieter. You can't hear for nearly as far. So now you can have people sneaking up behind you.
Yep. Like, and I know, again, like, this all depends on what the scenario is that you're fighting in, sure. But you can do this for anything. Rain can do this. Rain obscures. Rain makes it harder to do things. Like, fucking snow can do it. Like, wind can fuck with arrows. Like, wind is fun. You can have rough terrain so that it makes it so that people, need to spend more movement. Like,
you have the battle take place in an area. Have the battle take place on a frozen lake. And if you transform into a T-Rex, splash.
Yeah.
And then you have a whole other problem because you're cold-blooded, motherfucker.
Ooh, yeah, good. It seems weird that
seconds.
It seems weird that Pathfinder of all games would be accused of lack of choice. I agree.
Yeah,
it is so, look, from everything we've covered, it is so customizable. And like again, the issues that he has put forth are exactly the same that someone could say about 5e if they do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand why this is a Pathfinder specific issue.
It's not.
Because it isn't. Because it isn't an issue unless you make it an issue.
And Pathfinder 2nd Edition is all about maximizing and efficiency. The biggest...
It is?
Well, let's go ahead and let's hear this.
Reason, however, might be the one thing I've talked about with a fiery passion of hatred before, feats. I don't know how I got sucked into forgetting just how much I hated what feats did to the game in Pathfinder 1st Edition, but damn! Even with the feat buckets, there is still a sense of builds. Even with feat buckets, which I've praised in the past as being a better option than traditional feat trees, and I do think it is better than Pathfinder 1st Edition's pure feat trees, ultimately still has more holdover than I originally thought. And you can tell. You can absolutely tell that the players are creating synergies between their character options. And I mean, that's not some big secret, nor is it unexpected. I mean, come on. That's the most obvious headline for a newspaper ever. Quote, gamers make good character for game they're playing, end quote. I mean, come on. It's not their fault, and dismissing them as just simply power gamers is a very lazy opinion. But
I agree, and no, I agree because not everybody's doing that.
Oh yeah.
Like I like making builds for my characters, and I like, and this is the difference between you and I, Cody, is that I like the feats because I like feats. I like having something that I build towards and then achieve and then build towards the next bit that works with that character. Now, then again, it might not be optimal in some cases, right? Because some feats are probably, and honestly, probably objectively, worse than others, and maybe I want to play that, you know?
Yes, but that's the thing.
Exactly. This is the thing. Maybe your players just do this. Like, they go so far into the actual optimal gameplay that they don't play the game any differently.
You know what I wanted to do for a character?
Sure. I didn't.
I wanted to make a ranger that used blowguns.
Ooh, okay.
I wanted to make a ranger who used blowguns, and he was going to be a survivalist, not like a survivalist, like half ranger, half poisoner.
Mm-hmm.
Where he would go out into the wild and he would hunt and stuff, but he would do it with a blowgun, and while he was out there, if he was in an area, he would do research on the area that he was going to, if he was going to be there for a while, and he would learn about the local flora. And if there was a plant out there that could be made into a poison, he would go out and harvest it and make it into poisons and poison his darts.
Yeah.
And that's how he would actually do damage.
Absolutely.
And so I had ideas for all these different kinds of herbs, where it was like corpse light bloom. And it was a flower that they planted near graveyards to keep zombies from rising. And it does a little bit of radiant damage.
Ooh, okay.
And there's cinder blossom, and it grows in snowy areas. And it grows by exuding a lot of heat, melting the snow around it, and that's how it gets water.
Oh,
so it does fire damage.
Yeah.
So, like,
just have some creativity, basically.
Yeah,
right?
And so I'm a ranger. Who uses a gun, a blowgun that, rules as written, does one damage.
Yes,
one.
Exactly, 1 damage.
And yet it would be this really versatile weapon. Because I would be able to be like, oh shit, I need fire damage. Rummage, grab my red feathered fiery darts. And then shoot it at like the fucking what the hell was it called? Shambling mound. Set it on fire.
Absolutely, That would be super cool, and that would be something that you would talk with your DM about, and they would go, oh, we can do that, or I don't know about that, you know, and then you would talk about it, right?
And so so here's my question. Does a ranger who uses a blowgun and relies entirely upon flowers that my DM would deign to give me, does that sound optimal to you?
No.
Does that sound fun and interesting, though?
Well, to me, yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Like,
and if you were DMing it, I would probably, like, I don't mean to try to read your mind, I would probably get the okay on that.
That you are completely correct.
Yeah, because I think that's a really creative way to play a ranger.
I think it'd be fun.
But it's not optimal, and it's not optimal at all.
Exactly.
But I want to be entertained by my character. I don't want him to be a fucking.
Some people.
This is such a player problem.
Some people find entertainment in playing completely optimally, and I understand that. But your players don't seem that way, so why are you making this a thing? Like, my favorite items to give characters I create are cured items, because it gives them a reason to adventure and effects in real ways. Yeah, sure.
Wait, cured or cursed?
It might be cursed.
Yeah.
Cursed, yep, cursed.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely.
Cursed. Yeah, because cursed items are fucking cool.
Yeah, cursed
because
items.
You can make them real weird and dangerous.
Absolutely.
And then they have to do shit.
Make them do a whole adventure just to cure one person's curse. Yeah, absolutely.
It's
great. Excuse me. So the other thing that I want to mention here before we go too much further is you are using, again, this is the first book, the first fucking adventure that has been written for Pathfinder 2e. Now, I don't know if this is because you thought this would be a good place to start, because of no research, or maybe the research that you did. But did you research this? Because this is apparently a widely accepted thing. That
it's the bad one.
That Age of Ashes is very rough.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
That it is very rough, and in the sense of like, it's not great. But did you do any research to do this? Did you change it at all, or are you going completely by the book? Because I can't help but at this point, like, I can't understand that. Because even when I did my very first game of D&D, I used the book Expedition to Castle Ravenloft. I've said it a million times. I'll say it some more times because it is what I like to do. I used that, and I put flair in it by using crit tables. I used the dark powers in different ways. I made them completely make a part of the map Protozoic. Because
that's cool.
Well, because they asked for it to go to what it was, and then the dark powers were like,
nice.
So I was like, fuck it, they're dicks. Why not? Because they wanted to save a bunch of werewolves, and I was like, yeah, you could try to talk to the dark powers. Go for it. Oh, you saved them. Technically, they haven't been born yet,
but they're safe.
They're safe. Technically.
And so when you say protozoic, you mean like everything is like a fucking giant amoeba, or is it like the primordial?
It was like pre anything
prehistory.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
okay.
It was more just a big field of they couldn't see it, but bacteria and stuff. And,
okay, because absolutely. I was thinking like spore level shit.
Kind of, yeah. But but yeah, so like and that's not in the book.
No.
And later on, when I had this storyline as well that had where I would introduce another person into it who was gonna be like actually the bad, like the worst guy who would come here as well, who was trying to like steal power and stuff, and trying to like use the dark powers to summon like bad things, and
the darker powers. Yes.
Well, some things from beyond. And I did that as well, and that's not in the book. The them getting to the shrines in Barovia that are supposed to help you defeat Strahd, them getting access to 2 of those, that's not in the book. Like the character that literally became like, it was the prototype, it was the first version of Dressed, my shopkeeper character, who had magic items that anybody could, like, if you asked for something, he could probably make it for you or get it for you. And then
sounds familiar.
Yeah, that was his thing. Like that was him, and he was unintentionally a bigger part than I thought he would be, because they used him to like scry, with like a specially made big scrying orb. He wasn't in that thing. It was just supposed to be a shopkeeper, and so that they could have access to things. I made it so it was convenient, right?
Yes.
And then he became a character more so because they liked him a lot, and then they went towards him and asked him for things, and asked him to do things for him, to assist them. And like, that again, not in the book. So I don't, again, you haven't said anything about changing it, so I have to assume that you've just been running it as written. And why is this a problem?
Hasn't that actually been kind of a theme with some of Cody's videos before, where we're like, it seems like they're running it
completely by the book only?
Yeah, has that been a thing? I seem to remember that.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really remember either fully.
It's generally agreed that doing the same thing every round in Pathfinder 2e is actually not the most optimal thing to do.
Oh,
well, there you go.
Right.
I'm not trying to appeal to popular opinion too much, because it is more valuable, because sometimes it doesn't line up. But I will agree that I don't believe that that's the case, because situations change mid-battle that you cannot predict.
Well, you would certainly hope.
I would think, right? Yeah, it depends on what's happening. Like, if I miss with my giant Tyrannosaurus head And maybe we have it so that it's next to a building, and I just smash into the building, and a bunch of rubble flies everywhere, and everybody has to, like, dive out of the way, and now there's a bunch of, like rubble all over that makes it, like, more,
difficult terrain.
Yes, thank you, difficult terrain. Then we have that now in the environment, right? Like, that's a change. Now we have something now that we have to deal with, as well as the enemy. And that was player created. Because I felt like it, right? But
well, if you felt like it, is it really player created?
That's true. That's fair. But you know what I mean. It's something that spices up the battle. I think
exactly.
I think his players were not adapting to the battlefield round to round and not working as a team, which is what 2E's strength is, and IMO is the payoff for the complexity. Sure, yeah. I don't know. This is the thing. I don't know. All I know is that his players were doing the same thing over and over again, and that is what he's complaining about.
Yeah.
And I don't know, and apparently his players were also complaining about that, so I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah,
right? Like why were they playing this the exact same way every single time?
And then complaining about it.
Right. Like I understand he had a TPK happen. Okay.
He hasn't even gone into that.
Right. He went into it a little bit and just said that, and then I think that was the reason why everybody's just started playing quote unquote optimally, right? Because they didn't want to die.
I guess.
And I understand that.
See, here's the other problem.
Yeah.
If your players are trying to play, if they're trying to min-max perfectly so that they don't die, how about you just be like, oh shit, they're min-maxing so that they don't die. Maybe I should ratchet it down a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
So that way it's less stressful.
Yeah.
Because, obviously you want the danger of death, but you don't want to be a meat grinder.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's the whole thing. The players of Cody's game seem to have sought the most powerful combinations and are too OCD to try anything new or different out of fear of not being the best players.
Every time. Yeah, it's true, though.
I love the fear. Thank you.
Yeah, it's fear.
It's always fear. They thought the best thing to do every round was the same thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Apparently, they thought that, right? And again, I can't speak to what they think other than what has been presented to me, right?
Yeah.
And I can just counter that with, just because your players did that in this thing does not mean the entire system is to blame. Because again, it could just be the adventure. You could try playing another adventure, right? And see if the same thing happens. If it does, then you might have something there, okay?
Yeah.
That's, again, 2 is a coincidence, 3 is a pattern. You know, it's just how you do the testing of it. And if you just are... If this is literally just you don't want to play Pathfinder, then just don't.
Yeah,
just don't play it.
You don't have to, again, exact that perfect quote. This isn't an airport. You don't have to announce your departure.
Exactly.
God, I'm stealing that. Who was that from?
That was from Ronald St. Fran.
Okay, Ronald, I'm stealing that. But I'm never going to say that I take credit for it. Don't worry. I don't do that.
Yeah, no, it's a perfect encapsulation of it, because it's like, just, if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. But I don't think the system is broken because of it.
Yeah.
Like, this is a fun system. I've had fun with it. And I think the more that I play it in the future, because I plan on playing it in the future, because it seems really fun. I think I'm going to keep having fun with it. Yeah. It's a famous quote from someone. Okay.
Oh, okay then.
There you go.
Well, then I sure hope you didn't take credit for it. I mean, I guess you didn't just then, but you know.
The way that feats still synergize in Pathfinder 2e all do one thing. They push the players towards a set of action to utilize those synergies.
That's because you have the choice of what feats you want to take.
Yeah, like, God
that is a choice, Cody.
You have that choice in Dungeons and Dragons too.
Yes, you can choose to get a feat and play with that feat in mind, because that feat, like, and we've talked about how Sentinel is fucking broken.
Yeah.
If you choose to do that, you're gonna use Sentinel every time because you chose it.
Yeah, like,
and I understand it's not exactly the same thing, because D&D 5e doesn't have the branching tree or the bucket method, as you're calling it, which I hadn't heard until now, but I kind of like it. It doesn't have, like, specific requirements that these feats build into other feats. It does have, some of them do have some requirements, some of them don't. And they do promote different ways of play. How are you not, like, I mean, you are actually against feats in general, so I understand then that you just don't like feats. That sucks. I'm sorry. But the Pathfinder ones are quite literally choices.
Yeah.
So how is this an illusion? I don't understand. Because yes, some feats are better than others, but again, unless your players literally every time want the most damaging feats, the most stat-uppy feats, like all of that stuff. Like, if that is what they want, then they are going to pick those.
Yeah, and not to mention, like, he's talking about how players make synergies and stuff.
Yeah.
You do realize that sometimes players don't do that.
That's also
right?
true. Yeah.
Like you might have a ranger and a fighter be able to make a combo, but what if the fighter just wants to make feats to beef himself up?
Yeah. Totally.
He doesn't have to take the feats that work in tandem with the ranger.
Well, this is the other thing, though. I think you could make anybody work in tandem, right? Like, no matter what, you know? And
because, again, it's not about feats.
No, it's just about your players.
Yeah, it's about how you play the game in this game with limitless options.
Yes.
Hey, ranger, set up a fucking rope trap across these two trees, and when they fucking run past and like trip on it, I'll run up and stab them in the back when they're on the ground.
Yeah.
Bam! Synergy that requires no feats unless you need a feat to set up a trap. But I got it.
I think you can set up a trap. I'm not entirely.
Yeah, especially since you're literally just tying a rope between two trees. I don't think you need a feat for that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like you can make a simple trap easily.
Yeah. Like.
Okay.
Jeez.
Let's continue.
Yeah.
That's it. Players don't do the things that their characters are the best at. They are literally purposefully playing suboptimally. AKA, these feats, even from pools and not direct feat trees, are creating an illusion of choice.
No, that's not what's happening.
Oh my god.
I wonder if Cody's players make builds rather than characters. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, like
that is what it feels like. It's unfortunate, but that is what it feels like. So again, just because you're playing suboptimally does not mean that you didn't have the choice to do so. First off. Second off, when you play suboptimally, you still have choices. You still can do things differently. Like, you don't have the choices that the feats could provide because you need those feats. And that's unfortunate, but you work with what you're given. Like, let me bring up again this Pathfinder thing and go look at feats. Do feats. Okay, since we're on feats. So, we have general feats, skill feats, and then there were like specific feats to the characters from what they can do or what they get from their classes, I believe. So looking at these feats, you have, let's see, is there any here that completely restrict you?
So like lock you into a set of choices.
Let me find. For general feats, we have gain access to ancestry feats from another ancestry, from adopted ancestry. Oh, that literally just gives you the ability to access other ancestry feats. Wow.
That sounds like more choices to me.
Become an expert in saving throw, hold your breath longer. Ward off a blow with your shield. Gain a first level ancestry feat. Become more adept. Search areas in half the time. Invest up to 12 magic items. I don't know what that means, but cool. Receive a fixed result on a check with assurance. If you're trained in one skill. Become trained in a skill. These are literally giving you things. I'm not saying anything that locks you the fuck in.
Yeah.
Let me find character specific feats then. Maybe that's what he means. In which case, your characters they have access to like some feats, and then you either choose one or the other, and then you build off of them. Because that's how it works. And those feats have choices that are built off, I believe, most of the time. So yes, so unfortunately, what I guess what he means is just from that, I like, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess what he means is when you choose a feat for your class, later on down the line, you don't get enough choices after that.
Okay, so the feat tree needs
the feat needs to be more of a tree and less of a bucket. Maybe is what.
Oh my god!
But he doesn't like that either. So I'm not sure.
He just doesn't like feats.
Right. So let me look at a couple other things here. Let's look at Alchemists really quick. I'm not showing it on screen. I apologize.
Well, can you at least cite the page number?
Yes, I apologize. I'm looking at the feats for Alchemists are on page 76 of your Pathfinder 2E core rulebook, and before that we were on. Let me go and get to the feats page that I was on before. That is page 255 of the core rulebook. Okay, so hold on. They're saying things in chat as well. What are you saying? Oh. So I just finished jamming Age of Ashes Part 2 with my players who are having trouble. I lowered the encounters by 1 level and it's been more enjoyable. In Pathfinder 2E, it's pretty easy to do that in comparison to 5E. Okay, yeah, fair. There you go. You fixed what Cody has an issue with quite easily.
Yeah, by doing one tiny little thing.
Right, like an acrobatic thief isn't strong, but with the right application of leverage and their smaller strength bonus, they could lose a boulder, loose a boulder on a hill to squash their enemies below. So what's so suboptimal about that? Yeah, it depends on the situation, absolutely, of what you do with your skills that you have. Sorry for babbling. I think illusion of choice is a clumsy way to say that the choices in PF2 aren't balanced, but that's very true with every TTRPG, and Pathfinder 2 does more than most in solving that problem. Maybe. And if that is what he's saying, then he really doesn't have much here to stand on. If only Alan may have made this video. You mean Aiden? If Aiden had made this video, yeah, he would have given the page number immediately.
Well, that's his new name now.
Alan.
Hey, Alan.
So
that's gonna be great.
So yeah, I mean, I guess with Alchemist, if you this isn't locking you into much for each of these, as far as I'm aware. Like, one gives you a mutagen that revives. Wow. That doesn't lock you into something. Combining elixirs, additive to use quick alchemy to craft a chemical item that has the elixir trait and has at least 2 levels lower than your advanced alchemy level. Oh no. Directional bombs, feral mutagen, like
feral mutagen.
Yeah, that one makes you like more. It gives you
I thought it was gonna
claws
turn you into,
and
like,
jaws
a doge or something.
Gives you claws and jaws that are vicious, and they gain deadly D10 trait. So shit, that's pretty good. You can increase.
You're assuming my claws and jaws aren't already vicious.
That is true. That is true. There are a bunch of reaction videos to this video, by the way. I know. I saw that Juice from oh my god, Master Game. Wow, I forgot what his channel is fucking called. Ooh, that's
Juice
bad.
From Master of the Game.
Thank you, Master of the Game. Brain.
I got you.
Thank you.
I got you, homie.
Thanks, man. Juice from Master of the Game posted one. And Brogan of No Nat Ones posted one. Those are the only 2 that I know about at the moment, but I'm glad it's getting responses because he's wrong. Check out the
I love
Poisoner.
How patronizing he's being.
Well, it's so annoying, right? Check out the Poisoner archetype. You can get your Blowgun Ranger with some reskinning. Hey, there you go.
Hell yeah.
Talking about Bill Allen. Oh, I don't know. Oh, Bill. Oh, that we talked about the other day. Yeah, I agree. That D&D teacher guy. Yep. Oh, did he? Oh, really? Oh. Wait, which D&D teacher guy? There are a couple here, and one of them.
Oh god! Please tell me it's not. What's his name?
Dungeon Craft. It's not Dungeon Craft, is it?
Oh, thank god. Okay, good.
I hope not. I don't know.
Please, no.
But Bill Allen, yeah. If Bill was here, he would do it. If Bill was the one making it, he would give us page numbers, and he wouldn't be saying this.
Yes. Yeah, he just wouldn't be saying. He wouldn't have made the video at all.
He has vids of playing D&D with students. Okay, yeah, Bill Allen. Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I quite literally, like, I don't understand what his issue is, because from what I see, and I'll go back to the regular feats again, just to see if I missed something, but from what I see, the feats themselves don't lock you in necessarily, unless you want them to.
Yeah, it seems like now that you've done that little bit of looking into the feats, it seems less like they lock you into a selection of feats and more like they lock you into a play style.
Yes.
Maybe that's what he's going for.
If that is what he's going for, and if he means that certain play styles are more damaging and like better than others, like they are more optimal, quote unquote, then yes, that exists in every TTRPG, as was
that
stated.
exists in pretty much every game.
Yes,
ever.
Exactly. There is definitely always an optimal thing to do, but again, it's not necessary, and if you make it that way, then you have the power as the DM to fix it. And as a player, you have the choice to not do that.
There we go. Thank you.
Exactly, right? Like, okay.
Yeah.
Players. Why, after a year of Pathfinder 2e and 2 sets of characters, I see them taking the same actions over and over, regardless of that variance of circumstances of the combats that they've been engaged in. And all this leads me to one conclusion.
Yeah.
I want to quit playing Pathfinder 2e. I don't enjoy it. It doesn't give me that buzz.
You're not even playing it
that I get from playing other games. Now, I want to say
something. Running it.
That's true, right? He doesn't want to run it, so maybe playing it would be better for him. I don't know.
I mean...
Maybe he could... You know what, Cody? Be the change you want to see in the game. How about
exactly.
that? How about that? Play the game suboptimally and have fun with it, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like,
and then while all the other ones are playing optimally and keeping your unoptimal ass alive.
Yeah, right? Like, well, the other thing is, like, hey, maybe don't play one of the pre-written adventures. Maybe try a custom homebrew world. Maybe just do a game inside of the world of, I don't remember the Pathfinder world, but it has enough lore and everything that you could just run something. I'm sure of it, okay? Like,
especially if you're an experienced DM, it wouldn't be that hard.
Exactly. I have the utmost faith in you that you could run something that you enjoy running.
Yeah,
okay?
Like, that's kind of excuse me. That's kind of why DMs... Jeez, excuse me. Jeez. Right. That's one of the big reasons why DMs like to make their own adventures.
Yeah.
Because we know what we like.
Yeah, exactly. Galarian, thank you.
Galarian, that's it. Yeah.
But yes, like, legitimately, just, you're a player in this technically as well. Like, make sure that you're having fun. That's great. Yeah. You should do that. If you're not having fun with the system because you don't like the system, then don't play the system. And don't just say that the system is wrong, because it isn't. This isn't... I could tell, like, let me also put another thing in there of D&D 5e, since you are apparently going to go back to that only, right?
Yeah.
Since D&D 5e has these choices that you can make that are suboptimal, I did do that in one game where I was a warlock and my stats were near Colungo levels. And by that, if you don't know that story, they were really bad. My highest stat, I think, was a 12 or 13. Wasn't great. But I played the guy and I had fun with it because of, one, my friends that I was playing with, two, the way that I played the character, and regardless of if I did a spell or not, if it hit, they attributed it to something else. Basically, my friend, my companions would be like, "Oh," because we had a wizard come in as well at one point, and they attributed it to, "Good job, you did it, wizard," and I would just be here going, "Oh," but I didn't say anything because every time I did any other spell, it would fucking fail, and everybody would go, "Are you really like a caster? Like, are you okay?
Are you shitting us?
Are you all right? I don't think you can really do," and I'm like,
like, I can't.
I'm trying. Okay, my Eldritch Blast just can't hit. All right. So, like, and I was having fun with it, and yes, he did die, but I was totally fine with it for one reason or another. I had a lot of fun with him, and I knew he was gonna die.
Yeah, and one of the reasons is because it's that secret death wish that you always have when you have a shit character.
Yeah, exactly. I've yet to run into a TTRPG game that isn't fun. All it takes is homebrew and calls rather than rules. You can use any system for anything. It doesn't seem like Cody doesn't know he can homebrew. That's the thing, though. I don't know, right?
Yeah, like
I have full faith that he can homebrew and that he has homebrewed stuff. But I have no evidence here to say that he is changing the game in any way to make it more fun for him and his players. Because they all are having a problem, and apparently they've had a problem for a year. Or maybe less than that, I don't know. But he has been playing this for a year. I would think at this point, you would have had some conversations with your players about what we can do to make this more fun.
Yeah, and apparently just no.
I don't know, right? Like,
oh God, what? Damn it, I'm not in the chat.
Sorry, I'll give you the link to the chat.
No, it's okay.
Okay. But, Pizza Punk says, maybe not.
Oh, God damn it!
Oh, he's on top.
Yeah.
He's on top of the meme game. I appreciate you.
Yeah, don't worry about giving me a link to the chat. I'm painting my Gene Stealer's fingernails.
Oh my God. His videos don't lead me to believe that he values homebrew. Yeah, okay. All right, fair. Like, again, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to make a claim one way or the other at this point, but it does very much feel like he doesn't do it enough.
Yeah, like it seems,
if at all,
because like we've done a lot of Cody videos. Maybe not a lot. We've done a fair amount of Cody videos.
A bit, yeah.
And that's another thing that seems to be common is that he has problems with things that can be solved with just home brewing.
Exactly.
And really, really simple home brewing too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like literally, Ronald was like, we bumped him all down a level. It's way more fun now.
Yeah, it's all it takes.
It's all he did, and apparently he's there's an option that you can do. There are so many options that you have. There is no illusion of choice on how you run the game, Cody. Yeah. let me bring that out there for you. Literally, you can run the game however you want. The way that you're running the game doesn't sound fun, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe run the game differently. Hey Lars. There's an aspect of Cody's story that I've seen unrepresented. He's complaining about a campaign that his Patreon supporters are paying him to run. Isn't that significant? Okay. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that is, because I have actually been there. Not with D&D, but I have been in a position where I did something that I was paid to do. And there does reach a certain point where it stops being fun. You know what I mean? Because you're being paid to do it.
It depends, right?
Yeah. But the problem is that the problem is that I was in a bad place at that point. It wasn't a good time, and it wasn't Dungeons and Dragons where I can do anything that I want.
Right, yeah.
You know, if you got paid by people to run a campaign and they give you a checklist of everything that you have to do and you have no freedom in anything that you do, that I can see as being quite suffocating.
Yes.
But if there's no rules as to what you're allowed to run, I don't think I would have any sort of issue with that.
Right. I assume they picked this to run, right? And that's the only stipulation. The other, this doesn't change the fact that he could talk to them about it and change the campaign enough so that they could have more fun. And I assume, right, I will make the assumption that he and his players that are paying him to do this are going to move to something else. Right, because they all seem to not be enjoying it, which that sucks for them. It's really unfortunate because Pathfinder 2e is fun to play. if you're not suffocating yourself by optimization.
Death by optimization.
Death by optimization. But yeah, I feel like you said they're moving to 5e. Okay, so
damn you, Aiden. Okay.
Sure.
Alan.
So yeah, if they're moving to 5e, so these players might just like, and Cody himself might just like the simplicity of 5e more than they like the complexity of Pathfinder.
Yeah,
and that's perfectly okay.
Yeah,
right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. It is not a fault of the system. It is just something that you do not like.
Yeah.
Again,
no accounting for poor taste. No.
Yes. But again, like, if this was just, I don't like this, then, and we're moving on to 5e, and I don't think I'm going to make any more Pathfinder videos because I don't like Pathfinder, then I would have no issue with this, right?
Yeah, because it's just an opinion piece.
Right, exactly. And this is mostly an opinion piece that he has veiled as it being a problem with the system.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yes, exactly. That is the issue here, okay? So, okay.
Yeah.
This was not the video I wanted to write this week.
Oh my god, no! He did the thing!
Wait, what thing?
Oh, he did
forgot.
the... It's the... No, this is like a bunch of YouTubers do this sometimes, right? This is the meme of, I didn't want to make this video.
Oh.
Stop it! No, you did! Don't say that!
Was not the video that I sat down to write. I wanted to bang out a script for a new Kill Your Party with. I pulled out Tasha's to maybe do some more coverage over there. I had a long conversation, okay, with Dungeon Dudes about doing a collaboration over our disagreement on Healing Word just this past week. And I even pitched an idea to Monty and Kelly about putting some money on the line and turning the collaboration into a bit of a competition for charity. But this is the video that came out. And the only explanation I could think of as to why I literally couldn't get my fingers to type anything else other than this video was because I have such a passion for Pathfinder and even Paizo. And I'm still so disappointed in the direction that 2E took. The system is so crunchy. And the only thing saving us from the tedium of that crunch is good bones for combat. But
what? Okay, so before we do that, I want to read the comments that have been put up because they're great. He does all the YouTube things. Yes, he does. It's annoying. Ronald then says, I didn't want to do this, but I did. Take responsibility. Agreed. Fucking hell. And then Pizza Funk, I didn't want to make this comment. It's just so okay.
That's really good.
So, it was. You're killing it, dude. So again, I suspected that he was gonna say that the role play would get him away from the crunchiness of the system, right? I thought he would say that, but he says the combat. The combat is also crunchy, like not super crunchy, but that is where your your issues lie, is the way that you are doing the combat, as well as the framework of the feats, and that all can be either combat feats or, you know, general skill feats or any of that kind of stuff. Like what your characters get, your class feats, those usually go for combat kind of stuff. Yeah. How is, like, I understand that the combat is more unique. So maybe that is what you mean, just the fact of the uniqueness of the action economy and all that stuff. Like, okay, cool. That is less monotony than what D&D does. I will give you that, because you know, you can't do multiple attacks in a turn in D&D unless you are a certain level, right? Yeah. And like you can't do like more than 3 things sometimes. It depends. So like I can understand that, but really, that's the big thing that's getting you away from the crunchiness, quote unquote. Okay.
Just the combat.
Pandering.
All it takes. There's
a top voted post in the Pathfinder 2 subreddit. It's long but very conversation sparky. We might look at it later if you get the link. I don't know if you can post links in this, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know. Called the problem with the Taking 20 video isn't that it's criticizing Pathfinder 2 as a system, it's that it's completely disingenuous in its intent. That very. You know what? I'll look that comment up. While we're here, actually. Pathfinder 2E subreddit. Because that honestly could very much be the case. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like it.
It kind of does. I feel like this is more just a look at me. I'm doing the. Oh, here it's so recent, 15 hours ago. Sick. Okay, I've got it for when we're doing it.
Good.
But yeah. So yeah, I don't know what the. So I'll bring up the other thing that I heard about later as well. Before we do that comment. So let's just keep going with this for now.
Yeah.
After giving a year of my life to this game, I feel like even the combat has begun to let me down. And let me get ahead of the terrible comments that are going to be dismissive, saying, well, Cody, Pathfinder is a system all about crunch. You just want to tell stories.
It's not what anybody has said, I think.
Yeah, that's not, I guarantee you nobody said that.
You know what? Let me go into your terrible comments, quote unquote.
I think I was wrong.
To now find your straw man. Because
Brogan said it.
No, yeah, right. Let's see about this. Can I search comments? Is that a thing you can do? No.
I doubt it.
That
I don't
sucks.
think so.
I wish. Oh wait, I can just Control F. Crunch. Oh, nothing yet. Okay. Let's continue a little bit here. Oh, nothing yet. Hold on.
Yeah.
Nope, nothing still. Hold on. Ooh. Nope. It keeps giving me the little boo. You're not finding anything.
Yeah.
Like, it might just be because he said it, but like, come on.
Yeah, like, Jesus Christ.
That's what they said, but what did you just say? Illusion of choice. What did you mean? Right? Ronald, he's creating a straw man so that he can look smarter. It's really weird because it's just like, no one's gonna say that. Like, no one's gonna go, Pathfinder is too crunchy. It's already too crunchy. So that's, you don't have to. No, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Or what did you expect? Paizo makes crunchy games. To which I'll say this. If you think that all Pathfinder First Edition cared about was the crunch, that tells me you don't know your history.
My dude, you are beating the fuck out of this straw man. I love it. Set him on fire. Set him on fire, dude.
Fuck
Do
straw.
It. Yeah, I hate it.
Game. When Wizards left 3.5 behind for 4th edition and caused all that drama with their licensing for their third-party companies, Paizo didn't just make a crunchy 3.5, it did the opposite. It literally did the opposite of that. It simplified the game, even if only a tiny bit. It made the game easier and faster with changes to spot and listen and how initial skills were handled. And when you get feats, while at the same time still saying close enough to 3.5 to allow people to at least continue using their old book collections. And just because I find this fascinating, the snapshot in time when Pathfinder was the #1 selling game in the world, and it had supplanted Dungeons and Dragons, at that moment, Pathfinder was the least complicated version of D&D available on the market.
Man, that straw man
it was
is
easier
dead.
to understand
Stop kicking
than
him.
4th edition.
Stop.
And while it sold
He's
more
already
books
dead.
than anything else. And it never fell out of that top spot until 5th edition was released in 2014, which then became the easiest version of D&D to play and reclaimed the #1 spot. And I have a lot more to say on this game. I have a lot more I want to say about the structure of the adventure paths and the way that format clearly affects how Paizo presents their game. I want to talk about how the core combat system with their traits feeds into illusion of choice because their effects are way too small. I want to talk about how the trait system makes the game basically unplayable if Pathfinder 2e isn't the only game you play every week without, like, condition cards. I want to talk about the pros and cons of attacks of opportunity.
Okay, he wants to talk about this, but he won't. I'm honestly not sure how he honestly loved Pathfinder 1 because the illusion of choice problem is arguably much more prevalent there. Yeah, I think he just, I don't know. This is such a weird argument because it's just like, again, you can throw this on any system and it's not correct most of the time, but you can just do it, right?
Yeah,
like you can just say this about anything. That poor horse.
No, it's a man of straw.
It was a straw man, yeah. Or it could be a straw horse. That's true.
Maybe you know what, it is a straw horse.
Is he equating simplicity to quality? No, he's just trying to tell the strawmen that if they're saying, oh, Pathfinder being crunchy, they've always been crunchy. No, it was more simple before in Pathfinder 1. And then it became less simple than D&D 5e. That's all he's saying. And it's like, no shit, cool, great. Is he talking about his preferences, or is he talking about what the mass market wants? That's why I think it's relevant that the campaign he's upset about is part of how he makes a living. Ooh, okay. So this is the thing, right? I don't know. I feel like he's going hard on this. Maybe he's influencing his own patrons as well, just in the sense of like after the fact, just to reaffirm that this is something that they should transition from. And now he's reaffirming it with a video. I don't know. But all I know is he's still making the money. It's unfortunate. Like, I don't know what this is, if it's like, okay. I don't think this is about the money, right? That's not a thing. I don't think this is about the money. I think this is just, he's trying to make it so that people still respect his opinion, because he's saying that this is a problem with the system. And because of that, he's trying to posit that this is all easily fixable. It's just he doesn't want to do it. I don't know.
I guess.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. It's hard to figure out for me, at least.
Yeah.
To financial success, at least, yes. Effects. Vortex.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad I heard that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You heard it. Yeah. I think he's just pronouncing it weird. He's saying Pathfinder 1 was less simple than 4th edition, so it succeeded. Then 5e comes out, which is much simpler and becomes more successful than Pathfinder 1. Yeah, that's basically what he's saying. Or is he making a scapegoat? Like, sorry, customers, I failed you as a GM, but I'm going to throw the game under the bus since I have viewers, and I can do that. Cameron, that's exactly what I think, says Lars as well. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's making the video to reaffirm it so that people will, like, his patrons will go, okay, yes, we'll transition to 5e now because he's right. I don't know. Pathfinder 1 was more simple than 4th edition. Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Yeah, more simple than 4th edition. I don't know, probably. I don't know 4th ed.
I'm the only one that possesses that forbidden knowledge in this group.
And you're gonna have the majority of the information there.
Yeah, and I barely remember it.
Exactly. You're good, Ronald. No worries. Yeah, so it might be a scapegoat. That is a fair point. It's a fair assumption, I guess. It's not we don't know. But
there's just not enough information.
There's not enough information from what we've got here, and I think honestly I don't know if this is like this is a strange business move, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can understand not wanting to talk about something that you don't enjoy, and I appreciate the integrity in that, right? In the sense of, I don't want to talk about Pathfinder because I don't enjoy it. Cool.
Yeah.
Just say that.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do.
You don't throw the system under and say, this is a problem with the system, we shouldn't play the system, because then that makes other people go, oh, I don't want to play the system because Cody doesn't like it because it's got problems like this.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't think that's the case, because again, we've gone over this. I don't think that these are problems with the system. These are problems with his players, problems with him not liking the system.
Yeah.
It's not the system's fault.
Now that I've had a year under my belt with it, but I'm not going to. At least not in this video. At this point in my script, I was already on page 4, so I'll leave those topics for another day. What I will say is,
why would you talk about him when you don't care about Pathfinder 2e?
Yeah, and so Yeah, and you don't like it. But let's go ahead and make a whole nother video about this.
Right, you have several
even though
topics,
you don't like talking about it.
Very many topics that you think that you need to talk about. So you don't like it, but you want. So is this just a bait? Is this a bait? Are you baiting us right now?
Yeah, it could be.
Are you baiting us into fucking watching more of your videos about? Is that?
He's a masturbator. God damn it.
Nice. I hope he's not influencing his patrons. Dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
They, honestly, anyone's influenced by whatever. I feel baited, says Lars. Dude, I think gotta get some quick clicks. Dude, honestly, I don't want to be saying that, right? Like, I don't want it to, but it feels that way.
It feels that way.
I don't like it. I'm quitting Pathfinder 2e because of this issue. I might talk about these issues in later videos. Right, yeah. He's quitting because of this one issue. This broke the camel's back, I guess. But but these other issues that he doesn't want to talk about in the video where he's saying that he's quitting.
Yeah, God forbid we talk about those.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Just talk about everything that you don't like about Pathfinder and then say, I'm taking a break from it. I'm not gonna play it. Yeah. Like, then I would be like, okay, cool. Now you have legitimate, maybe, criticisms that we can talk about.
Yeah,
and discuss, and then I can understand why you're doing it, because now I think I understand what this video is being made for. It's made for bait, and also that you don't like the system. If he starts doing negative videos from here on in, we all know exactly what he's doing. That's the thing. Only time will tell at this point, and he's going to, like, I've seen, he tweeted at Brogan, at NoNet1s, because NoNet1's made a video, and XP to level 3, which he hasn't made a video, but he was talking about him for some reason. I think it was because he made a video on him a long while ago. I don't know. I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the tweet really quick here.
I mean, it was in the chat. So.
Yeah, I gotta go over here and get it really quick. That's the wrong one. There it is. So this is the one that he tweeted at our boy. So he says, first XP to level 3, now NoNet1s. Why do these youngins want to argue so badly, or in both cases, forget to actually make an argument with me on game mechanics? I can only destroy them with facts and logic, or limp away. Hope you did your homework, NoNat. Winky-faced, smiley face with the sunglasses that I assume is cool emoji or something.
Yeah, right.
Now, I haven't watched Brogan's video yet, and we might watch it later just to see. Because he's now claimed that Brogan hasn't made any arguments, which is a strong claim.
Yeah, that's a very strong claim.
Very strong claim.
Yeah. That's usually one of his strong suits.
So, yeah, quite literally, by God, Cody. By God, is that Cody's music? What a boomer tweet. Dude, it's right? It's so weird. Like, I replied to it under our thing. What the fuck? That's Cody's message? Yeah, I know. Okay, good. Other people are now looking at it and going, what the fuck?
Yeah,
good.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Right. Like, he says that he makes no arguments. Huh? Okay.
And it's just so condescending.
It is
and
very condescending. It's fucking... Okay. Anyway. Let's continue with this. He'll talk about why he's not going to make videos anymore, but he is going to make videos later?
Oh, yeah.
This. Pathfinder 2nd Edition is still absolutely a game that I could and would recommend to certain groups as their go-to game system. It has a lot to offer. The Paizo's team is still very passionate about not only their game, but this style of role-playing games, and it shows. Their bestiaries and monster design are excellent. I genuinely still enjoy their Lost Legends line as well. I've got a few of those books sitting on my shelf. Their setting is really starting to grow on me. If your group gets together for one-shots on occasion and just wants to dungeon crawl through a labyrinth of a dungeon, seriously...
Oh my God, he's doing that argument that the girl was doing for AD&D we did the other day.
Oh my God,
what
Cody.
The fuck, Cody? Really? Strikingly petty for a professional content creator. I agree. Cody.
Come on, man. Oh God!
Sorry, it hit me. It just hit me so hard that what he just fucking said. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
It's just
like, what the fuck? Come on. Ugh. You know, that's so stupid. I don't even want to give it the time of day.
It's just one of those things where it's like, role-playing doesn't exist in this role-playing game. You should just use it for dungeon crawling.
And I like, one of the things that I like is that earlier he was like, oh, don't, fuck, I forget. Because I forget exactly what he said. It was earlier in this video where he was like, and before you brush me off with like with this kind of comment or whatever. And now he's brushing off the entirety of Pathfinder 2e by saying it's good for nothing but dungeon crawls.
Yep. For one-shot dungeon crawls. Yep.
Fuck off.
Right? Very weird. Very strange. Not something that I would ever see as a take. Coming from somebody like Cody. Like, legitimately did not expect that. That's weird. Okay, so maybe for you, not for literally anybody who played Pathfinder other than you and your group.
Yeah, cool. God. There are times I feel sorry for Cody because it sounds like his group is just shit.
I don't know what's going on there, you know?
Like, man.
It sucks.
Because, man, it sucks when you don't have a group that's, like, good to play with.
And, like, having fun, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Play this game. There's nothing better on the market, in my opinion. If you don't care that your character does the same thing over and over in combat because you're just getting together with friends over a few beers to play and...
Ooh.
Beers, wait, is he going to say beer and pretzels?
Oh my God. Pathfinder 2e is beer and pretzels 2e.
You really want to feel like you're just kicking a monster.
He didn't say pretzels. I'm sad.
Yeah, no, he said beer.
He said beer. He's saying Pathfinder 2 is okay for a few levels, but over time, as players level up, they do the same thing over and over. So I could say the exact same thing about fucking 5e.
D&D.
Yeah.
You can say that about literally any role-playing game that has a lot of combat in it.
That, you could say it for a video game, you could say it for anything at all, like a fucking book that has shitty writing, like, anything that doesn't have this freedom that all RPGs have, you could say it about and be maybe correct sometimes. But with an RPG, a TTRPG, you have so much fucking choice. You have literal infinite possibilities.
Yeah. Like, I was actually just recently playing Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, which is fucking excellent, by the way.
Yep.
And it's a stealth sniper game, and it's unlike Sniper Elite, because in Sniper Elite, you can't get a fucking silenced sniper rifle, which is fucking really retarded.
Yeah, super weird.
But in this one, you can. And every time you enter an engagement, depending on how you actually want to take the engagement, if you want to do it stealthy, it's literally always the exact same approach. You approach the area, you launch your fucking drone, and you spot all your enemies, you assume a good sniping position, and you take out one after another. You take them out in areas where they won't be spotted. You take out patrollers, you do this, you take out the snipers if there are any. You infiltrate, and you use either your assault rifle or sidearm to take care of the rest of the things. You complete the objective. And it's the same thing every single time. But it's still really fun.
Well, I assume there's variations just because of enemy placement of
there is
environments.
There's heavily armored enemies, there's cameras, there's auto turrets, there's
the thing is, right, you can make it so that just because you can do something the same way every time, you can make it interesting. That is something you can do.
Exactly.
And in D&D and Pathfinder, you can do the exact same thing. Or, by the way, love to play a too crunchy game while totally drunk. Exactly, right? Like, that sounds right. That sounds
so good. Pathfinder is the pretzels.
Oh!
Anyway.
But literally, if I just go, I'm gonna be a monk, okay, in D&D 5e. I punch again, and then I use my flurry of blows, and on every punch, I use a key point to stun until I stun. You could do that every single time. I would call that optimal, because fucking monks are broken with their stun. Let's be honest. It's one of the things that I think is a little too powerful, but I like it still. It's fine. You could do that every single time. Every single time. But I would get bored. You would get bored. Most people, I think, would get bored. I don't know that for sure. There are probably some people out there who are super into doing that every time to see the DM go, fuck, my monster is now stunned forever. Right?
Yeah, right.
Which is fine. That's something that people do. Okay, cool. Again, I've made the same argument.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way that you, like, and then I literally made a counter to it of, like, I could get bored, you could get bored. This is a preference thing.
Yes.
It's preference.
Sexual preference.
Monster's ass. Well, then guess what? Play this game. If you enjoy a style of gameplay where your game master never talks in first person because you guys all find that super cheesy, play this game.
What the fuck?
What the fuck does that mean?
What?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Sorry. We just made a jump. We just made a huge jump.
Yeah, okay.
What? What in any of what you have said? What in any of what you have said gives you the right to say that?
Yeah. So, yeah, the DM talking first person, that's totally the system's fault.
What? Whoa.
Okay, and so let me back it up. What the fuck does he mean?
So he's saying that Pathfinder 2e is too crunchy and so much a dungeon crawler that you never want to use it for roleplay, basically. You always want to use it in such a way that the DM never has to talk to you as if the bad guys are talking to you or anybody's talking to you.
What the fuck?
In first person. That is what he's saying about Pathfinder. And I'm
sorry.
Extreme. The illusion of choice. You can't choose to speak in first person in Pathfinder.
Okay, so here's the thing.
What a massively strange take.
I have given Cody a lot of shit over the whole time that we have been doing the show.
That is true.
This one quote is the thing that cinches it. He sounds like a shit DM. I'm sorry, man. But fine. You said if that is how you take this entire system, if you think that the entire system, the entire game of Pathfinder should only ever be used for combat and no roleplay, that sounds like you're just a shit DM.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Ronald says that's fair.
Like, Jesus
and honestly,
Christ.
I can't. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't want to immediately.
I don't have enough information to think otherwise.
I agree, and that it's unfortunate that I have to agree, right? Because that's what it feels like, and it's so weird. How dare Pathfinder 2e doesn't DM the game correctly itself? That's also the thing, right? I've said this before. If you're doing it from a book and you want to just go entirely by rules, that's just how you play it, and that's weird to me, at least, right? Because again. No personality for any villain, no personality for any NPC. Like, I don't understand what you mean now, because apparently this is how you've played it. Very strange. Don't get it. If it's like he walks around in a house of mirrors and judges people by their warped reflections. Yeah, no, I don't know, right? Like, it's so strange, because I can't imagine somebody who has He's shown at least that he's creative, because he said, remember when he said that he made Invisible Servant wear a thing and then trick some guards? Like, we had like praised that kind of thing because it was actually a creative use.
Yes, I do. I remember that. Yes.
So he has creativity. I know he does. We know he does. So how can you say this about Pathfinder 2e?
It's like.
Why are they stifling their own creativity?
Yeah, Jesus, I'm so sorry Alan's not here. That's his fucking name now.
Oh, I hate it.
Like, it feels like sometimes he has selective multiple personality disorder. Where sometimes he can be super creative and sound very good. And then times like this, or I feel like he's been DMing for about 6 hours.
I think it's more just he's just selective in the sense of what he's criticizing, right? Because
I guess
I don't know how he can fucking say this and
and be serious.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is in his video. This is he published this, right? He wrote this in his script. He's just admitted to reading from his 4th page of his script. 4 pages, by the way.
Yeah.
Really? This is 4 pages? It's only 18 minutes.
Pages. So it's so it's double spaced.
Okay. Secondly, right? I can't get over how fucking strange this is. To say
it's
that you play this game if you don't want your DM to talk in the first person as a fucking character.
Yeah.
How can you make that claim? How can you make that claim?
Yeah. Because your group is terrible, apparently.
Or you're just running things.
So wait a minute.
What are you running?
Did he experience the guy saying, "You don't get to talk to me about my character," and talking in the first person? That's talking out of character.
Yeah. Yeah, that's out of character talk. That's out of character talk. You can only talk to me in character.
Out of character chatter. There we go.
Right. Either I'm having deja vu a lot tonight, or Cody and the derp stick from last week make the similar complaints. Yes, no, you're right. He made the same argument as the girl roll runner yesterday, or not yesterday, but last week. My brain, right?
That's fine.
Last week, who was talking about AD&D and how that is literally good for only
dungeon crawling,
and not for a roleplay experience as compared to 5e. Which again, I don't agree, because fucking you just run it how you run it. You can make it the way that you want to.
But
I even made the same joke. I know you did, Pizza Funk. I know you did. Like,
but what if no?
But what if no, though? What if you can't, though? Because I don't know. No.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean it on that last one, by the way. If you want to look down and say to your game master, I want to use a diplomacy check to make an impression, so I want to engage with the NPC in dialogue for at least 1 minute, and I want to make this check against his will DC to improve his attitude towards us by 1 step on a success or 2 steps on a critical, as listed on page 246 in the core rulebook.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Then you should play Pathfinder 2e.
Are you fucking kidding me? Just because.
God.
Okay, now let me break this down, right? Just because, and I know, and I can use an example from 3.5, because 3.5 had the same kind of thing. Yeah. In the book of 3.5, there was the adjustability of the way that a character, that a character feels about you, and it depends on how you talk to them, your diplomacy skill, and if you make checks or not. And in the book, it says that. Sure, do you only use what the book says, Cody? Because I don't know about you, but if you did that to me in my game and in a lot of people's games, they would say, "What do you say to that guy?"
Yeah, they're not going to be like, "Okay, roll," unless they're the laziest DM in the world.
Exactly, right?
Or best case.
Yeah.
Let's say you do that, and the DM is in a rush to get you out of town, so you can actually start the adventure.
Sure, yeah.
You've been then, here for too long. I was doing that, look, we've been in town forever.
Exactly.
Let's get going.
You would say something.
Roll, you do it.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly.
Because I've done that.
This part where he mucks the diplomacy rules is so pointlessly spiteful. I agree. This makes no sense. It makes no sense because this has been in so many other fucking systems. You could say the same thing about fucking D&D 5e. You go, hey, I want to go and talk to this guy and tell him a story for a minute and then roll my diplomacy and see if he beats his sense motive or whatever. Like, legitimately, what do you mean? Like, in many cases, Pathfinder 2 gives a structure where 5e leaves it open. Each approach has its pros and cons depending on the player/group. I agree. Yes. The point of the 1 minute thing is to make it clear that you can't do it in combat. He's showing his hand, he's being obtuse for effect because he wants to laugh at the game's expense. I also agree with that. I really do, because I don't know why, but Cody seems to be completely and utterly what is the word? Mesmerized by combat.
Yes.
Like he seems to be
obsessed.
Yeah, obsessed. Thank you. That's the word. Thank you. He's obsessed with combat entirely to such a degree that this is, it doesn't matter what you can do in the actual like role play aspect. Because 1 minute, the 1 minute thing is like, no combat is happening because it's going to take a minute, because a minute would last forever. Remember, this is the guy who complained about Pathfinder 2's jumping rules, where when 5e has its own rules that he didn't know about. Yeah, I know, right? He picks and chooses when he remembers about like shit in the book, because apparently he's read it, right?
Yeah. like fuck's sake.
Like, come on, man. I
see. Never mind.
It's just one of those things where it's like it's literally a TTRPG. I don't know if you know what that means, Cody, but it's a tabletop role-playing game. Now,
yes,
your roles, you can play them however you want. However the DM decides that you can play the game, basically, like he arbitrates how you do things, but you get to figure out how you want to play the game.
Well, you see, here's where you're wrong, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Please.
With Pathfinder, it's not ROLE. Oh. It's ROLL.
Oh.
There is no role playing. There is playing by rolling.
I see.
God damn it.
Oh, it's a PRG. Playing by rolling.
Oh, man.
Play roll.
God damn it.
Cody, this is such a strange take. It's so bad. What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
That's actually the most disingenuous fucking take I've ever heard.
Oh. Yeah, at least for this week.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm not Pathfinder 2e isn't for everyone. Just that for the time being, at least, it's not for me. I'm not even saying I think Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition has more interesting combat. In fact, if I had to, I would probably call it a draw. The thing is, though, if my choice is between a slightly unsatisfying combat system that feels repetitive and another slightly unsatisfying combat system that feels repetitive, and those are my two choices, then I'm going to pick the one that's less complicated, so at least I have more time to roleplay, which I also enjoy. You know, I was really nervous
you do it at all.
to do this video this week, and I just want to say thank you to all the people who reached out to me on Twitter to convince me to go ahead and pull the trigger on making a critique video, even for a company that I love as much as Paizo. You know,
you had to get people to tell you that you could do this.
You had to have people. You had to have people help convince you to make a video.
Cody, just critique stuff, okay? Like, you can have an opinion regardless. Like, again, I understand maybe it's just it's a fucking weird move for your business.
Yeah.
But, like, you should have integrity, okay? I'm glad that you at least have a shred of it in the sense of actually putting this video out, right?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of falls flat when we actually look at the content of this video, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah.
He just summed up his argument by saying something completely different from what he just spent 5 minutes saying. Yeah, he's saying, oh, it's not like I'm saying it's not for everyone. I'm just saying it's not for me. After saying, no, only those people who want to do dungeon crawls.
Yeah, right.
Like, fucking contradictive right off the bat. Thank you for catching that. I didn't even think about it.
God, this is a terrible script.
Oh, it's so bad. Wow, this dude sounds like
writer.
Wow, this dude sounds like he has a lot of friends who really care about what he says on Twitter. I bet you those people would never predict the quality of this video. I agree. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Oh my god.
History, really strong critique for companies that sort of, work with you and that you sort of are kind of reliant on of that not going 100% great. Look at the auto industry. Look at the TTRPG industry. Look at Linus and Jay's 2 cents on their recent videos.
What?
So thank you guys for convincing me to do it. At the end of the day, even though I wish Paizo well, this was a video that I wanted to make. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to pass it over to
wait a minute!
guys.
Wait, whoa! Come on!
He just, he said this is the video I wanted to make before saying this wasn't the video that he wanted to make.
Back off, Cody! Cody! God damn it!
Do you have any idea what this auto industry thing means? I have no fucking clue. He's just saying
what the fuck was that about?
Like, I assume it's just like, so he's trying to compare what he's doing, like saying criticizing stuff in the auto industry is like criticizing stuff in TTRPG industry when you're reliant on that, and I don't know what he means.
Yeah, that. Well,
I don't get that because I either I'm not familiar enough or he just hasn't made it clear enough. And either way, so, I don't fucking know, and I don't care.
So here's what it means.
Doesn't mean anything.
If you criticize the auto industry as a consumer, the auto industry does not gonna give a fuck, and they're gonna keep making their cars.
I think he means like as a reviewer or something.
I guess.
I don't know, but reviewers literally critique things for a living, so I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I don't know what the auto industry thing we brought up even means, and I honestly think he just kind of said it. As TTRPG fans, we are all experts on automotive industry access journalism. I agree. That is correct, Lars. I don't know. I have to say this. Cars aren't RPGs. I don't know why I have to say this. Cars aren't RPGs. Yeah. Folks are saying he's in sales/marketing as his day job. Okay. So then criticizing what you're selling is bad? I guess that makes sense. Yeah, but you're not selling anything in this video. You're literally telling people not to buy it, basically.
So he's not.
I don't know.
He's not criticizing what he's selling. He's criticizing the farmers who send the produce to the store to sell.
He fears making sense.
What do you guys think? For those,
I think it was fucking stupid.
Yeah, I think your video was bad. Do you have anything else of relevance to say?
Pathfinder 2e, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me?
Hard disagree.
For those of you that don't have a lot of experience in Pathfinder, but you play a lot of D&D and you just watch my channel because you thought this might be interesting, how do you guys feel about 5e's combat? Do you feel like the things I talked about for Pathfinder are equally applicable to D&D 5e?
Entirely so. In fact,
absolutely,
literally 1-to-1, you could make the same arguments, and I would call you pretty much wrong.
Yeah, because your arguments are stupid.
Like, your arguments don't make sense. Because they literally can apply to anything.
Yeah. Let me know in the section down below.
No, I won't.
I want to give a massive thank you to all the incredible patrons.
Okay, we're done here.
Yeah, we're done. Good God.
What is this? Oh, you know I'm about to ring that bell, says Lars. Dude, what is this? What
I don't know.
Is this? I'm so confused. Like, just say that you don't like the system. All you have to do is say that. Just saying if he sounds like he makes sense, it doesn't mean he does. I agree. He's so like, man, I hate that this is going to turn people away from Pathfinder 2e. This is definitely going to do that. Like, like just like what Puffin's fucking video did. It's going to turn people away. And
what did I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, I know you weren't there for that, but Puffin made when we had Basics for Gamers, when we had him on, so he said like he was giving shit to Pathfinder 2e's system like being too hard to understand and giving such a long-winded fucking take on it in the sense of saying that every time you do a round of combat, you have to do every single calculation ever in your head every time. Oh. Like, basically putting out that as the thing every time. And it was so disingenuous because it's just like, we literally were like, you could just write it on the sheet,
Yeah.
Right? Like, you write what you need on the sheet and then you reference your sheet. Do you not have a sheet? Right? Anyway.
Yeah.
So, again, it's another video that's going to do that, unfortunately, and that sucks because he's saying that this is a problem with the system, and I don't understand.
And it's not.
Is he trying to get on Wizards' good side? Didn't Cody complain about not getting D&D books for free from Wizards, or am I thinking of a different YouTube? No, yeah, he did say that. I don't know.
No, he said that in the exact same video.
He did say that in this video, and there was something that was told to me that some people are theorizing that he's doing this as that kind of a thing to get into good graces, basically. Let me find the exact quote that I was told here.
Hey, Cody, shit on Paizo and we'll send you a bunch of free shit.
Right? Yeah.
That.
So yeah, they claim he doesn't actually care about what he's saying. It's a massive business scheme to get sponsors and money from either Paizo or Wizards. That is something that people are theorizing about. And like, I don't know. We don't have enough information. That's the problem.
Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. If this was a well-worded, well-thought-out, intelligent argument, yeah, I wouldn't believe that. But because of how stupid and vapid and just nothing that this video is, I'm actually willing to believe that.
Sure. I don't know.
Like, that is potentially what's going on.
Right. Controversy gets views. Puffin's arguments at least showed his own tendencies as a gamer in an easy-to-read way. Like, there are definitely people who want no crunch, and Puffin is easily readable as that sort of player. Yes, agreed. But unfortunately, he didn't really say that. He said that the system was to blame, so it was weird. Oh, hey, Juice, you're set? Hang on.
Oh, hey.
You want to come on? His game just wrapped up. That's fucking great.
Nice. Yeah. He missed it.
Well, he made a response video to it, so he knows
right, that's true.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you want to come on, fucking say so, and I'll add you in. But yeah, and so it's just it's insane. It would be an insane kind of thing of like if this was literally if he said. Let me see if my wife was cool with it placing an Amazon order. All right, dude. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Just let us know. But yeah, if he had said this in if he had phrased this in such a way that it was actually something that we could respond to and say, I can see where you're coming from, and like that kind of stuff. Like if he had said that this is how I feel about this thing, and it's not a fault of the system, it is literally just
me and my group.
Just my group and my experience, and that is it. And if you like the game, then that's fine.
Then it would have been so much better. Yeah. But no.
I do know what he's saying now, by the way. Cody told me what's up today. I still don't agree. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
That's good.
That'll be cool to hear.
Yeah, I would love to hear that. But yeah, because this video does not do that well. Other than just telling me that he doesn't like it and that he's not going to play it. And that is something that you should say instead of saying that it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, because this isn't a problem for a lot of people, and I don't agree at all.
So, do we have any other videos, or did we want to look at that?
We're gonna look at the
comment
post.
On Reddit or whatever it was.
Yeah. Here, it is there.
Thank you.
So, this is on the r/Pathfinder 2E subreddit. Right. The problem with the Taking20 video isn't that it's criticizing Pathfinder 2E as a system, it's that it's completely disingenuous in its intent.
I like how I am seeing the just tick up. The upvotes are just ticking up, dude. Like actively, I'm watching it. Oh my god, that's great.
You'll come on? Okay, sick. Once you get online, I will add you in.
Yeah. I
honestly don't think it's bad for Pathfinder 2's success. Bad publicity is good publicity, but most people who might Pathfinder Discord. Yes. Most people who might know that Pathfinder 2 might not know that Pathfinder 2 most people who might Pathfinder 2 don't know it exists. What?
Gonna need to retype that.
Yeah, I might like Pathfinder 2E, doesn't know it. Okay. Controversy generates publicity, and his point isn't very clear. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I will add you in quick here. Yeah, I'll just add you into the TableTalk one. That's fine.
Yo.
Hey, man.
Yo.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. Perfectly.
Do I sound clear?
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
Oh, so good. Oh, the best.
Well, I mean, it could be better, but hey.
Yeah, it could be better, but yeah.
I literally just wrapped up a game, so it's taken me. I popped in there, and you guys were on the ball.
Fantastic.
So I am pulling up the thing that he had told me today too.
Oh, fantastic! Good.
Great.
So it wasn't like a personal thing. It's not like it's a hidden thing. It's just in a group that me and some other creators are in.
Okay, gotcha.
And so he had even commented on my video, Cody did, and said that me and Bill Allen, a couple other people who have done video responses, missed the point. And so I had even asked him in there. I said, "Well, what was the point? Like, I would love to talk to you more about it." And he didn't really go into it. So then he also said in a group, because somebody posted a blog post, that, frankly, I kind of needed that because I'm over here screaming at my monitor at Lee and Bill right now for totally missing my point this week. So then I asked him about it, and I said, well, I feel the same way because, for instance, I'm not a big fan of Savage Worlds, right? I just don't enjoy the system. He said, again, missing the point I made, which in the video, if I remember right, he said that combat is boring and he just doesn't enjoy it, correct?
Kind of, yeah.
Which to me means he does not like Pathfinder 2e. But either way, which is totally fine.
That's obviously, like, it's very obvious that he just doesn't like Pathfinder 2e, and that is it.
That's what I took from the video too. But he's actually saying that's not it. And so here's what he says. Again, you're missing the point I made, Juice, because this again he repeated that and said it's not that it isn't fun. Okay. It's that logically it is no different than other systems in combat, while those systems are superior to it in the other aspects of the game. So, in theory, let's just go 5e to 2e, right?
Okay, yeah, please.
He's saying they're fundamentally the exact same thing when you look at it logically, which I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah, I would say systems are similar. Yes, that's about it. They're not the same.
Well, unless his point is that, look, you have a monster, it's got hit points. You have players.
Well, okay, yeah.
They
if we
they deal damage. They try to do the most damage to wither away hit points. Yeah. If you literally break it down to caveman terms,
right? Exactly. Okay. That's what I'm saying. If you break everything down to the basest thing, then yes, everything's the same. Whatever. That doesn't mean anything, right? Because I can just say that everything is the same, and then we're done. Like, that's not a conversation.
Yeah.
Right. Completely agree. And so I don't know what the point of the video was. I mean, so the other thing that kind of drives me nuts is people commenting on his video or commenting on the Pathfinder 2e thread or in a couple other groups I've seen it and claiming that he did this for money. Like, none of this has anything to do with money. I just want to say that up front. Like, it's ignorant, especially if you're saying, well, all those other games that he talks about are more popular, so they get more views. Then why the hell would you do a Pathfinder 2e video if it's not going to get the views?
Well, this is going to get
logic out the window.
This is going to get the views. Like, there's no way that this isn't going to get the views. It has already been talked about so many times.
For sure.
And like,
Do you think he thought this was going to happen? I don't think he thought it was going to go viral.
Or
blow up like this.
No, see,
he's smart.
Yeah, maybe not viral, but I'm pretty sure he knew that it would get a lot of views.
I think that he.
I mean, it's clickbaity.
Yes, it is very.
It's got that lure to it.
Yes,
I don't know if he thought it was going to do this.
No, I really do, because he said even in there he gives a straw man of, like, before you start typing out your comments of the system is crunchy, like, he's already
baits the comments and stuff. Yeah,
he's already preparing for that kind of stuff. A negative video will always be more popular than a positive video as well. This is
but it would be more popular if he did this about D&D 5e saying it was boring.
I don't know, honestly, because Pathfinder 2e is spiking in coverage. It is very popular.
Oh, for sure.
And not to mention that there have been a lot of videos already kind of complaining about, the oversimplicity in 5e and the things that people don't like about 5e.
Yes.
And I don't know of any of those that have really kind of like blown up like this one has.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And I'm not saying
we don't know either. It's
exactly
just not enough information.
Right. That is entirely the case.
Right.
And, like, I wouldn't be surprised one way or the other, right? And I'm not going to say it was totally for money, because that's just, I mean, to be fair,
that doesn't seem likely.
It isn't likely, but you still make money from a video regardless, like, especially when you're a content creator, that actually has a following and stuff. He has his patrons and all that shit. Like, he's fine. He's doing fine.
And there's nothing wrong with that. We've all agreed on that.
There's nothing wrong with that, and I agree. It's just one of those things that this is so weird that I don't know why he made it other than to declare to everyone that 2E is not as good as they think, in a way.
So yeah,
especially with that part at the end where he was just saying that Pathfinder 2E is really only good for dungeon crawls.
And also that you don't want to play it if you don't want to role play, basically.
So yeah. Well, when I first watched it, I watched it within 20 minutes of him posting it.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, the first half, I'm like, okay, whatever. He just doesn't like it. And then he said that, like towards the end, where he's like,
fucking take.
It's the best at doing this. And I'm like, wait, it's the best at combat. But you just said, like, that stood out to me the first time I watched it. And I kept the whole video. All I'm thinking the first time I watched it is, yeah, that sounds like a group that just wants to run up and hit things. That's it. Or just do this, like spam the same thing, like the cleric that always does Spirit Guardians or whatever the other one is in 5e.
I think
all sounded the same, and I was like, that's just a group issue.
Exactly, and that is exactly what we were talking about. It sounds like it is just his players and how he and they play games. That is it. That is,
and it has nothing to do with the system in and of itself.
Exactly,
that's
it is
what
not
he was blaming it on.
And the other thing that stood out to me in his video is he only talked about a single group playing one single campaign for a year. So again, to me, that just reiterated my thoughts of what he was saying there. And so again, I still don't know if he's played that with a lot of other groups or not. I have no clue. He hasn't answered that anywhere I've seen.
Right.
And he doesn't have to. Again, if you don't like a game, don't play it.
Exactly. Whatever. Right. Like if he had just said that he didn't like it and he doesn't want to play it, that's fine.
But you have a responsibility. When you have an audience that big. Like, and this is why I had people comment on my Pathfinder videos unrelated before I did a video response. Hey, will you please do a response to Cody's video? Like that was on one of my like ancestry videos. And I was like, yeah. And I actually was thinking about doing it because I was just going to mention, it wasn't even going to necessarily be like a full on thing like I did it. It was just going to be me doing a video that was not going to call out Cody. It might say in the beginning, like, oh, you know, this is inspired by this. But it wasn't going to call him out. It was going to be, hey, how do you know if like you're having group problems or something? And I was talking to one of my friends about it online, and he's like, yeah, that sounds like you should do that video. And then I got that comment. And then I was like, I'm just going to do it. And I did it. And all of a sudden I saw like No Nat do one today. Because I did mine yesterday. I saw Bill Allen do his today. Like a bunch of people do it today. I'm like, oh, there you go.
No, absolutely. It's. Man.
But we all missed the point, apparently.
That's the strangest thing, because and you've told, so he says that just over and over, so
so he said that we missed the point. He exclusively said that Bill Allen and I, because again, he's friends with us. He watched our videos. He probably didn't watch everyone else's.
Oh, he's not going to see ours ever. Don't worry about it.
No.
Yeah. Well, he might. He does keep his ear closed.
He'll never.
But
he's not gonna like us then.
He's not gonna like us.
Oh, whatever. Then one of our other friends says, correct me if I'm wrong, but to paraphrase, as your character progresses, you get boxed into certain methods of combat, thus removing the volition of the player and in some ways agency as well. And then Cody replied to that and said yes, which is exactly what all of us have said. Basically, is that like as you level up, well, I didn't say it, but Bill said it in his video that as you level up, there's optimal choices that you feel like you want to do, kind of thing. And you've already built your character a specific way. So then he says whatever. Gareth says something about how D&D was designed in the beginning and how there's still holdovers from that, which is true, but whatever. So then Bill had said, wait, so Gareth just reiterated what I said in my video. So I actually did understand your point. Then I revealed the solution. So maybe you didn't get it, brother. And then he's like, as your character progresses, you get boxed into certain methods of combat, thus removing the volition of the player and in some ways their player agency. That sort of thing simply doesn't happen when you stop being an optimizer. No game system can take away player agency. That can only happen if you put yourself into that box in the first place.
Exactly.
Also, I don't know anything about the Age of Ashes campaign or setting, but based on the comments in the video, it sounds like it's built for optimizers. You can't survive without a well-built group. So that's probably another reason why you're fried. Your game was stuffed into yet another box, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the other thing. No Nat said it was an easy campaign module, but everything I've read from other people is that it's hard. So I don't know what's true. I've never played it.
I've not looked at it. I've not played it.
I heard the beginning is really difficult because the game wasn't even out yet. And then I heard it gets easier. But No Nat said today in his video that it's actually a really easy adventure path.
Okay.
Oh.
But
I don't know.
Cody TPK'd someone at like level 9 or something. TPK'd the whole group.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, I don't know how his dice went, you know? Like, that's a whole element that you just can't account for.
Right. You know, we don't know the actual dynamics of the group. Like, did they fill the 4 core?
Right.
You know,
yeah. Are they the core?
Like, you have a healer, a rogue.
One of them's a druid who does a Tyrannosaurus, apparently. One of
yeah,
them's
we know
a
that.
Buckler.
Yeah.
But we don't know everybody. We only know like two or three of the classes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, like, I
and
don't
the
know,
new
man.
classes, we don't know the first classes.
True. Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things where then he goes into saying like there's an illusion of choice, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, what do you mean, man? Like with the feats, you build toward a feat that you want because you wanted it, because you chose it.
Yes.
Right? Like all of the things that you have available are your choice whether or not you get to them. Right? Like it doesn't it all of his arguments also apply to literally every other game out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least ones that focus heavily on combat. And Call of Cthulhu, not exactly. But
Right, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I
completely agree.
So it's just so it's hard for me to go, oh, I guess I missed the point, because I don't think anyone has missed the point. I think he's just trying to backpedal a bit, you know? Just to like
maybe.
just to go, okay, maybe I said it in a way that doesn't really work or something. I don't know. I really don't know what his intention is at this point, other than just to say, I don't like it.
Well, I think when you have an audience too, you sometimes, at least for me, I sometimes feel the need to over-explain my perspective at times.
Sure.
For my audience, you know, because like, for instance, I did a bunch of 5e videos, and then as Pathfinder 2e, I started gaining more interest in that. I kind of felt the need to explain why I was going that direction.
Sure, you can do that.
You know, and so the difference is I still like 5e. I still run 3 campaigns of it, like every month.
Yeah.
But I would never do a video. I feel uncomfortable doing a video sometimes about other games that I used to love that I don't love anymore. I feel guilty. I don't know how he doesn't. I know he felt some guilt going into it, but it sounds like some of the creators, like I think Owen commented on some stuff, and some other people, kind of said, "No, dude, feel how you feel."
Right. Yeah. No, and I agree. I said there's some integrity in that, of saying how you feel about something, regardless of what it's going to do. That's great. I'm glad about that. But he says in the beginning that it's a video that he didn't want to make. And then later on at the end, he says that this is the video that he wanted to make.
Oh, did he? I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, that's 2 contradictory lines.
Like, I wanted to make this video because blah, 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 or something.
Yeah, he said I didn't want to make it, and then, he's like, no, this is the one that I wanted to make. And I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't track, but all right.
I don't think I would have went out of my way to do that video.
Yeah, this is a strange business decision, I would say. Just because, like, the Pathfinder stuff has been doing well, and I understand, again, and I'm glad that if this is more of an integrity move, just like, I don't want to do Pathfinder content, that's fine. Just say that you don't want to do that, and then just, that's it.
And we don't know how many people are nagging him about that. Like, hey, you did those great Pathfinder videos. You should do more Pathfinder videos. Like, he
actually says in the video,
Discord.
Yeah, he says in the video that his Pathfinder things went very well, and he said that there were people, and we even were like, yeah, your Pathfinder versus D&D video was pretty good overall. Like, there were some things in there that you got wrong,
some critiques.
Yeah, there were some things that you got wrong, just straight out the bat. But you know,
and he knows, yeah.
So like it's, and like there are people that want him to talk about it, and I'm sure that's a thing. But at the same time, there's no issue just going, I don't want to. Like, he's mostly a D&D 5e channel, and honestly, he might lose a few subs just because of not doing Pathfinder stuff. That's fine.
I got comments on my response video saying people were unsubbing from him. I think I saw at least like 5.
That's just what happens.
I think they subbed to me though.
Hey,
I've gained like 12 subs and like just from that video.
There you go. Yeah, no, it's one of those things that it's just gonna happen, and that's just the wave you gotta ride. But you don't go, the system is bad, that's why I'm not gonna do it. No, you go, I don't want to play the system. I don't want to run the system because I don't enjoy it, and I'm not having fun. That's all you need to do. And then yes, you can have people like us who are assholes and go, yeah, but what you're saying doesn't really match up.
Yeah.
So right. Well, so that's the other thing, because when I watched it, I didn't. He kept saying the illusion of choice, and I just felt like he didn't really know why he didn't enjoy it. That's how I felt watching that video.
So
and to me, like, so one of my 2 games that I just don't enjoy anymore. I'll just say what it is.
Sure.
Savage Worlds. I just don't enjoy it. I've never sat there, and I've been excited about playing a game of it, but then in the game or after the game, I'm like, it was just whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know why. I can't even try to pinpoint it, because reading the rules, I'm like, the rules seem cool. Yeah. Like, but it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's the vibe I got from him about Pathfinder.
I didn't.
But he clearly knows.
Yeah, I didn't get that because
later he says some things that he wanted to dive into.
He says like the combat is not as good as he had hoped. It's better than what he wanted, but it's not as good as it could be, right?
But it's the best on the market.
Yeah,
don't forget
exactly, right?
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. There's also that concept. Anyway, there's also the feats. He just doesn't like feats. That's just a thing that he doesn't like. That is something that he cannot get past, even though he did for a while. Which, okay, fair enough. You just don't like feats. He also doesn't like that people play only optimally in this one scenario.
The feat thing bothers me. Okay. Because in Dungeons and Dragons, when you level up, rather than feats, you get to choose a new battle master skill or ability, or you get to pick a new spell.
If you're a warlock, you get an invocation. Yeah.
It's just not called a feat. It's the same damn thing.
It's the same kind of thing. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
You just call it something else. I hate when people say I hate feats. Because I've talked about this with other people, and they're like, oh, you're going to bring back feats? Well, what do you want me to call them? Like class abilities again?
Yeah, exactly.
Like just like 5e? Like, or just like any other game you play?
It's again,
I don't understand that.
I think it's just because he has bad experience from 3.5 for some reason of building to a certain thing and being only able to go towards that when you yourself put yourself in that position, you know?
He used to rave about first edition Pathfinder though.
Oh yeah, no, he does. I don't know. He still did. He did in this video. He's like, I still love 1E. And I'm like, why? It's got the same
There's a lot of
problems.
People out there who love Pathfinder 1E.
Well, no, I think it's great. I think it's really good. But for Cody, I'm like, why? Right? Because everything that he has said goes against that. Right? Yeah. And I don't understand where he is right now, because it's just like it's either one way or it isn't, just nebulously, even though both have the same things. Right? And I don't get how he can then go just from this one experience, that the only experience that even apparently matters of this one game. This is what makes him not want to play Pathfinder. He hasn't tried anything else. He hasn't. I don't know though, but from what he has said, he doesn't say about trying anything else. So all I can go from is this one game.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's how I felt too.
So it's just like,
and it seems like when the druid character said he was bored, it's almost like that was the moment that he had an epiphany.
Right. So and this is the other thing, right? With the players, apparently they're all bored with doing the most optimal thing possible. And if that is the case of what you have to do in that adventure, that's unfortunate. But again, literally, we have a person in our chat who said it was Ronald Sanfran. He said that he ran it, and all he did was lower everything's combat level by 1. And then everything was fixed. You didn't have to play optimally. Everything was fine. Like, everybody was having fun. And so we were like, have you not tried homebrewing it at all? Have you not tried to do a creative spin on any of the material? Do you just run raw? Is that it? Right? Because if that's the case, I don't know what you're doing. Like, it's fine to do it that way, but if you're not having fun doing it that way, then why haven't you changed it in a year?
Yeah, that right. And I kept putting in that if your players are bored with the combat, all you have to do is say, hey guys, it looks like you guys are bored with combat. What can I do to make this more interesting for you guys?
Right. Well, and if every single person's bored, there's a reason every single person at that table is bored.
Exactly.
Yes.
Is it because it got boring, like because the players are doing the same thing, and then all of a sudden he checked out and just started going through the motions?
Right.
And so now then the players became bored?
Yeah.
Or were the players bored, so they didn't they just went through the motions and then it rubbed off on him. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't. I don't have a feeling that they were all bored at once. At some point, dominoes started falling, and wow.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised. And again, we don't know enough.
And I've done that. I've done that with groups where I've been like,
absolutely.
I don't want to run this game tonight. I'm not excited about this group.
Sure.
And you know,
and that's perfectly within your right. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, just take a break for a little while. You know, I know he's being paid to play this with his patrons, so there's kind of that obligation because he is being paid.
Yes.
So, but at the same time, I'm sure everybody's okay with you taking a break every while, and I assume that he's done it, right? He's probably taken a break every once in a while, just to like.
Especially if you're being paid to run a campaign, you want to run a good campaign.
Yes, exactly.
So you can really easily just say, "Hey guys, I really don't feel up to it. I'm sorry. I want to run the best game that I can for you guys. I need to take a break." And
this is the other thing. Like with the game, it was picked by his patrons. Okay, cool. I assume then you could ask your patrons if they want to play a different setting or a different like campaign, just to like maybe do something else and maybe have more fun with it, and maybe do a little research beforehand on the game, on the story, and see if it's something that you'll have fun with. Right? Or look at, as you said, apparently a lot of people have called it that you need to min-max at it in it. So then if no research was done, then he didn't know that going in. He didn't look to see if anything was amiss with it. And that is something.
You mean the players doing the research?
No.
Him.
Like if he had researched this module and found that people are saying, or adventure, excuse me, that people are saying that you have to play optimally in order to beat it, he might have had
I don't think
thoughts.
when he started it, people knew though, because they've been playing it since the game came out, it sounds like. Right?
He said he's played it for a year. It came out in 2019.
It was like the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the first one. Yeah, that is true. So I don't know. I really don't know.
I agree with you. If you do the research into the module, but again, when did he actually get it and plan?
Right, exactly. Like if he got it day one, then there's not much in accountants, but after a few days, maybe you look into like, oh, my players aren't having as much fun in this as I thought they would. Maybe we can
let's see if other people are having this issue or if it's just us.
Exactly, like that, or we then go, maybe I'll read the entirety of the book so that I know what's going on here, and then maybe change it accordingly if things keep going this way. Like, there are options here, and he's talked about the illusion of choice, but there is no illusion of choice for how he can DM it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you play it however you are going to have the most fun with it.
But it's also just not an illusion of choice. If I have an actual choice between 5 things and they don't function the same, there's no illusion of anything.
Absolutely. That whole argument
like
is
if I go to
garbage.
McDonald's, there's no illusion of choice. It's not like I have to order the Big Mac.
Exactly.
I can get some chicken nuggets even though they make burgers.
This is the thing. His illusion of choice argument only applies to combat for this scenario because apparently that's how you have to play the module, as you've stated.
Or you TPK.
Right, or you'll TPK. In which case, that's unfortunate. Lower the difficulty of it so that you don't have to do that. Right?
That also means that it's not on the system.
Yes.
It's on the module.
It's on the module.
And it's still then just saying that it's on the Game Master when it comes down to it. Because the Game Master's running it lazy. Like, sorry, Cody, if you're watching this, that's lazy.
That's what we said. Like, we were talking about it. It's just like, it sounds like you, like, Boo literally
and I'm a lazy DM when it comes to running a module. I don't change shit. But
Boo literally said, it sounds like you're a shit DM. Like, that's literally, that was
I don't think he's a shit DM. I've actually...
I
don't... That's the thing.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
We've done Cody videos before, and he's had, like, really, really good ideas.
Yes!
He has great ideas.
Yes, he's a creative guy.
Times where I'm like, man, that's really, really
You know
cool.
what, though?
Yeah.
This is a great analogy. You can be a fantastic football coach. That does not mean you can play football.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's probably what it is, because I'm guilty of that as well.
Right, exactly. It's just like, it just depends on how you run the thing. And if he's not running it in a way that's working, then just stop running the thing and, like, do a different, like, just use the base world of Galarian and run an adventure in it that you make up, because I think that would have been better. right? Like that I feel like they would have had fun with, because then he wouldn't have this opinion of, you don't play this game unless you want to just do a dungeon crawl and not have your DM
I hated
speak
that statement.
in the first person.
I really worry that he's run, maybe hundreds, maybe even 1,000 people away from Pathfinder.
That's what I said.
At some point, that at some point would have possibly been interested.
Yes, exactly. Yep. I think this video is way more damaging. I think this video is way more damaging than he would have thought it would be, because this is it literally, like, and he even contradicts himself in that, saying, I'm not saying that it's not for everyone, but he literally says before that this is for people who want to just run that. And
if you read the comments on his video, some people do say, "Thank you for doing this video. I won't check it out."
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the unfortunate truth.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that, again, this video, he scripted it, he read it script, I hope he redrafted. My God, he probably,
or at least ran it by somebody else,
right? But like, it's so
hard. It's hard though to think about it from all viewpoints.
I agree.
And that's the problem. But I agree. There's like with
this
you
is
guys,
an obvious.
There's a responsibility that is there, and I don't think he should take the video down. Obviously, it's up, it's out there, it's whatever at this point.
I think he should just make a follow up. And
I would love to see him elaborate on some of his points that he did not dive into, because I think that will tell us a lot more.
The problem also is that he says that he doesn't want to do Pathfinder content, and then he states a lot of things that he wants to make videos on about Pathfinder content. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, so what is it? One or the other, right? Like, what that just calls into question everything that you're doing here. And that's where I think a lot of people are talking about the money thing, right? Because this gives a lot of negative, it's a negative video, so it gets a lot of views, and then people will come in to see what else he says that's negative.
But it only gets a lot of views because people keep commenting on the thread saying it's a money grab, and all that shit. If people who had a problem with it did not say a word on any of the threads, it would fall down Facebook, it would fall down Reddit.
You can't assume that people aren't going to talk about it. That's not something that you can.
But my point is it's on those people who are still falling for the clickbait.
I agree.
It's not his fault. That's your fault.
I agree, but those people exist, and you have to be aware of that.
I know, I'm one of them.
So there you go. Yeah,
again, I'm a hypocrite.
All of us are making the videos on it. We're literally doing the stream on it. Like, it's literally it's out there because
more attention.
We have to. Well, no, it's not because of attention. It's because we have to talk about it, because this is wrong. What he said.
I mean, it's bringing more attention to what he did.
Oh yes, it is bringing more attention.
Obviously,
I agree.
He's got the bigger audience than all of us.
It is true, but that doesn't mean anything, right? Like,
correct. And maybe those people now will watch his and they'll be like, oh yeah, you're right, I'm not going to try it. But then they might watch one of ours and be like, oh yeah, I guess that is
exactly.
Maybe I will try it. That's why I did mine.
Exactly. I hope that people are exposing themselves to alternate viewpoints, because that is an important thing. You need to have more than just an echo chamber. You just need to have everybody talking about something,
especially about this game where you can have infinite possibilities. You need to have a lot of viewpoints to figure everything out.
I agree.
Did you guys ever play D&D 4E?
I did. I actually started with 4E.
Is it easier than Pathfinder First Edition?
I never played Pathfinder First Edition, but I can probably First Edition Pathfinder was basically 3.5, right?
Yes.
With a bit of changes.
Yes.
Then
it's
Pathfinder was easier.
Okay.
Okay.
There
you go. Yeah, because now that I've
heard conflicting things, so
now that I have experience with 3.5 running our campaign, I can tell you that 4 is harder.
Okay,
cool. At least
just curious, because I've seen people say that wasn't true in his video when he said that, so that's why I was asking about.
I don't know,
because I never played 4E.
Yeah, I don't know.
The thing is, with 3.5 and stuff like that, the combat is a lot smoother. Whereas in 4th edition, you have so many different auras and buffs and things like that you have to remember. There's just so much more stuff to remember, and so
which is hilarious because people compare Pathfinder 2E to 4E.
Really? Well, actually, 2E, while I believe it's easier to do combat, it actually has similar stats. Where
that's true.
In 4E, that was when you got the huge numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you hit really, really hard. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty sure it's easier to run.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I would have to look through the books again, but that's what I remember.
Yeah.
So, okay. I wasn't sure.
It's this video. It's just one of those things where it's just like I don't know. If he had just said this is how I feel about the game and it's not a fault of the system, everything would be fine.
Yeah,
everything would be fine. Like
I agree, because I don't think people would have called me out to do a video, and
I don't think anyone would have. We got a comment about it as well. I think Ronald actually commented about it. He was like, "Hey, you should cover that," and I was like, "Yeah, okay." And then you also on our Discord was just like, "Hey, when's that coming by?"
I knew you. Well, see, I know what kind of videos you guys do.
Oh,
this is
absolutely.
right up your
alley.
alley.
Absolutely.
This is a gold mine.
This is not my kind of video.
Absolutely, because like
I don't try to poke the bear.
We're not trying to poke the bear. We're just trying to give the bear some
I'm
honey
kidding.
and say, dude, just like maybe you should not growl so much. Like it's okay. Yeah, I don't know. So we were gonna get into this Reddit post actually. If you wanna hang out for that.
Yeah, I'll stick around for a minute.
Okay, cool.
I'm still trying to do my Amazon shopping, so you're good.
Okay. Yeah, there's a link in
I'm just like scrolling through stuff and not even paying attention because I'm listening to you guys.
I feel
And sometimes if I don't hear you guys, it's because I'm actually trying to read something. So, yeah.
Yeah, the link is right there if you want to look at it. But yeah, I'll be.
I won't.
So okay, fair.
I'll listen to it.
Okay, so before we do that, there's a lot of comments that we missed. So, so, oh god, I'm so far. Okay, here we go. Paizo's comment on Cody's video was super classy. Didn't see it. That sounds interesting. Ronald said, "Hi Juice, really like your reaction vid." Oh, what did they say? Do you know?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember, but I think they said thank you. And by the way, new books. When the Bestiary 3 comes out, it kind of fulfills the core books, and maybe there'll be some things that change how things work that will appease him. But it's coming from the media guy Aaron, who's fantastic, by the way. And he says it would be better taken up with the designers themselves. And he also says that basically he still appreciates everything and they appreciate the criticism.
Yeah.
It was all positive and it was not negative at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure
a bunch of people started commenting underneath it, but
they kind of have to be positive, to be fair.
No, they didn't have to say anything.
That's true.
That's true.
But
I wouldn't
if
have.
they said something, it would probably have been positive. That's the thing, or at least neutral, right? Hold on.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Oh, Brogan sent me the comment.
Oh, jeez.
So it says, "Hi, Cody. Aaron in marketing and media here. Rather than send you an email, I think transparency might be valuable. Thanks for your feedback, as always. Just so everyone knows, this constructive criticism does not mean you are off the list. Pathfinder 2nd Edition was designed with a core that could be expanded and developed for years. With the Bestiary 3 releasing early next year, it will complete what the designers consider to be the core rulebooks of Pathfinder. Future hardcovers will be expanding and developing that core. So that is when it will get even more interesting.
I remembered that really well, by the way.
Will the Secrets of Magic and other unannounced books open up new options that you and your players will find engaging? Or will the mechanical core frustrate you? Do our designers have counterpoints to your points? I propose that those are questions worth exploring when the time comes. Peace, joy, love, and hope to you and yours in these challenging times. Thanks, Shanks."
Aaron said it way better than I could.
Well, he wrote it.
No, Aaron. So Aaron's really awesome. I don't know if you guys work with Paizo, but Aaron over there is fantastic. He's very good at following up and things like that. So
cool.
Again, Aaron can't say enough good things about him. So
that's good.
And No Nat knows, and
I'm sure. Yeah. But yeah, I that's cool. I'm glad that they took that kind of approach because that just makes Paizo more look better. Because it's just like, yeah, cool. Anyway, so this Reddit post. So I think by now everyone who frequents Pathfinder 2e boards has seen Cody from Taking20's latest video about Pathfinder 2e. Since I live in Australia. Excuse me.
Or Austria.
Oh, that's true. And everything works backwards here. No, it's Australia.
Oh, okay.
I woke up to the video, watched it before I got out of bed, and have been discussing and mulling it over. I didn't put it on the screen. Oops, there we go. Have been discussing and mulling it over most of the day. Obviously, the video isn't being kindly received in 2E spaces. It's a TTRPG content creator with a decently sized platform saying he doesn't like the system anymore, which will subsequently discourage others from playing it. Yeah, it's true. So, of course, it's not going to go down well. But I think there's more to it than that. Something really rubbed me the wrong way about it, more than just the fact he's critiquing 2E. I've seen plenty of people say that they don't like 2E before. That isn't the system for them. That it isn't the system for them. And obviously, I'll think some reasons are silly and others are completely understandable. So it wasn't that. There was something deeper that just got my gander about it. And thinking about it while sitting and painting minis, it hit me.
Hey, just like me.
Yeah, actually. So the problem with the video isn't that Cody is critiquing the system, it's that the whole video is completely disingenuous in its presentation and intent. I don't think I've ever seen a compliment sandwich with such thick slices of bread, let alone one hiding such a rancid filling. At its core, Cody's critique of the system is that he thinks the core gameplay loop is repetitive and stale, equating it to MMO rotations, and that the depth of options in a given moment doesn't equate to the effort it takes to learn the system and get to that single moment. I mean, for starters, as someone who likes this system and appreciates its mechanics, I have so many questions as to how he comes to this conclusion. You're not the only one. Especially the example of his druid who got bored because all he did was turn into a T-Rex. So not only was he bored playing a literal fucking T-Rex, but he couldn't think of anything else to do with his druid's full progression spellcasting, with access to the entire primal spell list, that he was bored and uninspired? Yeah, exactly. But nitpicking aside, the thing that's the most disingenuous that his reasoning for making the video is the classic, I just love Paizo and want them to do well. He's trying to drive the point home hard. That he's pinned a comment to the video says, when you love something, you critique it honestly because you want it to see it succeed. That is true, but yeah.
Yeah, but you do that back during the playtest, not, 2 years after it's already released and they can't change the game.
Well, no. You still critique it regardless. Like, But this
isn't a critique.
Oh, no, absolutely. His isn't a critique. I agree.
It won't do any good now.
Absolutely. All it's doing is kind of just driving people off, and it sucks. The problem is,
if he did it back when he did the 5e compared to 2e game, that would have been the time.
Probably.
Yeah, that would have been a good time to do it.
But he still liked it back then.
Yeah, that's true.
Did he though?
I don't know at this point.
Did he play it then?
I think so.
Maybe he was. Well,
dude, I don't know. I really don't know. The problem is, what Cody is critiquing essentially the entire core gameplay loop, the depth of the rules, and the character customization system of the game. Is essentially that. To him, the core loop gets stale and boring, and he thinks the character customization and rules crunch isn't worth the payoff. Exactly. To him. He's literally critiquing the core systems and designs of the game, to which begs the question, how long is this post? Very long. It's not that bad. To which begs the question, if he thinks the very core design of the game is broken to the point of not being enjoyable, designs of the game are broken to the point of not being enjoyable, how on God's blue earth does he expect Paizo to fix this without completely changing the game or releasing a brand new system? Agreed.
I wish he said how on God's flat earth.
That would have been funny.
That would have been great.
Why is that funny? I don't understand. The earth is flat. You know that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, if I set something down, it doesn't start rolling away from me.
That's true.
That's very true.
Oh, shit. This is why his video is bad. Not because it's criticizing 2E, but because it's condemning it while trying to defend itself under a veil of a critique. The reason his compliment sandwich is disingenuous and why he's saving face comes off weak to me is because when your critique stops being about specific fixable elements of the game system and starts being subjective disdain about the core design and gameplay loops, you are no longer critiquing the game in a way that's fixable. Agreed. What you're doing is writing off the game and saying it's a failure, that it needs to be gutted and rebuilt from the ground up. And he can't say, oh, it's just me, it's my subjective opinion, but then why make such a... he can say, "Oh, it's just me. It's my subjective opinion." Yes, that would have been preferable. But then why make such a big deal about it? Why announce it to the world if you weren't hoping to get something from it? Yes, there you go. Yes. Okay, fair. Why share that viewpoint if you weren't hoping for other people to jump on board and agree with it? Does he think Paizo are already working on 3rd edition and are taking notes for it? Oh, that's an interesting point, actually. I don't think so.
I highly doubt it.
I honestly don't know what Cody was hoping with this video. If his goal was to actively wean people away from 2E, I'd actually be more understanding of that than the weird clusterfuck of subsequent Paizo complimenting and dunking that the video ended up being. Instead, we have these platitudes about how great Paizo is and saying he hopes they continue to succeed, before actively shitting on their product and passive-aggressively insinuating that people who play 2E are the kinds of people who bog down social encounters with heavy crunch. Yeah, that was fucking shit. I hated that. Thought I was going to let that one slide? I haven't even begun to touch on the 10 layers of patronizing that last part of the video was when he was like, I guess some people will still like the game while simultaneously insinuating that the game systems are bad and that people would be weird for liking them. Again, I'd have more respect for him if he was just honest in his opinion and said he thinks people who like the game are stickler rules lawyers. None of this wishy-washy people can like if they like, but it's shit. And I don't see why anyone would. I know this probably isn't deserving of its own post amongst what I am sure are hundreds of others of opinions on the topic, but let's face it, this video is going to be seen by a lot of people who want to get into 2E and will push people on the fence away from the game. Yeah, it's really annoying. We need to be able to recognize and discuss why it's a shitty clickbaity video. Why it's a shitty opinion that doesn't actually offer any useful criticism past I don't like the game and think Paizo should make a new one. And why his friendly platitudes under the veil of constructive criticism do more harm to the continued growth of the game than help it. I totally agree with that, yeah. No doubt some people will read this and go, this is just circle jeering? Oh, jerking.
It's circle jerking.
It's circle jerking, yeah. From someone who doesn't like Paisano. Nice. Wow. Being criticized, but that's not it at all. It's not about defending Paizo as a company. They're big boys and girls. They don't need me to stand up for them. Hell, Aaron from the communications team proved he's 10 times the man I'll ever be by putting out an olive branch in the comments section of the video. Agreed. People, not that you're not as big a man. People are allowed to not like the game if they don't like it. And Cody's allowed to express his views and not like or play the game if he doesn't want to. Agreed. More power to him. Do what you enjoy. But I'm in turn allowed to express why I think his views are bad and why I think he's doing more harm to Paizo and Pathfinder 2E's growth than good by posting a video like this. And for a company he supposedly wants to see succeed. I actually completely agree with that too. Yes. I want Pathfinder 2E to succeed because I enjoy it as a game, and stuff like this harms the game by turning away potential players and risking lack of continued support for it. As much as grognardy edition wars types are insufferable, I think that means like people that are super into certain editions and will defend them to death.
I guess so. I've never even heard that term.
Yeah, I hadn't either. I completely understand why they get grognardy when the content they like stops making money. It stops being supported. If this somehow reaches his eyes, and in all honesty, I kind of hope it does, I would say to him, Cody, I think you're short-sighted and lack introspection. It seems like you spitballed your script and didn't have a goal in mind apart from venting your frustrations about the system. I don't think you're malicious, and you have a right to express your opinion and play the games you want, but Cody will see this and think TLDR. I see you say that.
But
play
it
the
comes
games
off
you want,
to me.
but it comes off to me. You wanted your cake and to eat it too. To have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
You wanted to state your critique without backlash. You were more interested in covering your ass than actually helping Paizo. The whole thing came off to me like you were more worried about being canceled by another company than actually giving critique to a company you love. And if you did genuinely feel you wanted to help Paizo, and that the video would help push them towards making a better product, then frankly you fucked up and have probably just made things worse. There's nothing in your criticisms that can be tangibly done to fix this game short of a full system revamp. All you've done is subjectively espouse, oh yeah, your opinion, and push away prospective players who might have otherwise been interested in 2E via a platform with more reach than you seem to be accepting responsibility for. The best the 2E community can hope for is that the video causes a Streisand effect of people hearing about this game whose most watched YouTube videos are people talking about how much they don't like it, and they look into it out of morbid curiosity. But that's an admittedly optimistic outcome. If you consider yourself a person who thinks constructive criticism is important, then take this on board before you release such a terrible clickbaity video in the future. Ironically, in trying to protect yourself from the ire of people who disagree with you, you've just made yourself look worse than if you were openly and unabashedly critical of the game.
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
So overall, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
Do you? I missed like 3/4 of that shit. That's too damn long. Like straight up, like, so the vibe I get is that this person didn't like Taken20 before this video.
Oh, I didn't either.
And which is fine. You don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think some people are using this as an opportunity to just trash him. Like I said in the Pathfinder 2E group, some of those comments are like, like it's annoying to me because I don't think you'll ever see it from that side.
This is still this isn't completely just going after him. This is going after his points.
I agree. No, I agree. But he didn't make that many points. That, like, you didn't need to write 30 pages or whatever.
He made so length doesn't mean bad though. Just because he was expounding on the points doesn't mean that they aren't worth expounding upon. Like it's not a good idea to like limit yourself in a response, I don't think.
Oh, I 100% agree with that.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
The beautiful thing when you're typing it though is you can shorten it and make better, like,
so you can edit it.
I agree, yes, but I don't think there was anything that was really too fluff heavy. I think it was all still on point. I don't think he didn't go into any anecdotes.
You're probably right. Like I said, I tuned out like quarter way through. Like,
okay, well,
like I said, it's too long for me. Like,
okay. Pizza Punk says
I'm actually on it right now. Like I actually just pulled it up because I was like, screw Amazon. I need to come over here and actually look at this because I did not like at one point I just couldn't do it.
That's
like
couldn't find anything.
I like how Pizza Punk says it's too long. Looks at the length of the stream.
Yeah.
I mean, my stream was damn long too. Or my video.
So I agree overall just on what he said. It's just I don't think this video was very good, and I don't think it was good at criticizing anything. It in fact was
was no constructive criticism.
There was no real criticism. There was just saying things that could apply to other things too. Like it's not a critique on the system itself. It's a critique in general. It's not even a critique. It's just saying things are bad. It's like, okay,
you're right.
Cool. That's all I've got, man. Like it's nothing other than I can just look at this and say he even tweeted at Brogan that he didn't make an argument. And it's like, what did you do, Cody? Your arguments didn't have much basis.
Oh, he tweeted at Brogan?
Oh yeah. Did you not see it?
No, I didn't see it. I've been playing a game all night.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The tweet was to Brogan and also XP level 3.
Yes.
Oh, did XP to level 3 do a video?
No, he didn't. But I think he was talking about back when he made a video that was directed towards Cody, like a long while ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, go find that tweet.
So the only thing he said was that he didn't make a point.
Well, here's what he said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, go ahead and pull it up.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Because it's incredibly condescending.
Yeah, it's really weirdly condescending. Like, so strange.
It is hard to tell tone though over.
Well,
I'll have to check it out.
Word choice.
I gotta check this out. Screw this noise. Here I am, like defending something I haven't even read. Like,
exactly.
Damn it!
No, it's fine.
I do this shit.
It's fine.
I mean, hey, you know him more than we do.
It is true.
I slept in a bed next to him at Gen Con 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If anybody has the right to defend him in this room right now, it is you.
I love Cody.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
It's right there.
First time I felt passionate enough to make a full response video. XP to level 3 may have beaten me to it, but I still felt strongly enough. I wanted to get my thoughts and opinions out. Oh, that was November. That's not it. I can't find it.
I have it linked in the Discord.
Yeah, it's right here in the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are so on point.
No worries, dude.
Oh, perfect. I better get full context, right? Let's open it and see what it's in a chain to. Oh, I guess it's right underneath it.
Yeah.
Well, this video that literally everyone knew was coming. My response to Taken20, quitting Pathfinder 2. I have a few things to say, so it'd mean a lot if you checked out the video, which I did. And I actually thought his video was pretty good. First, XP to level 3, now no nat 1s. Why do these youngins want to argue badly? Or in both cases, forget to actually make an argument with me on game mechanics? Because you didn't say anything about game mechanics.
Yeah.
I can only destroy them with facts and logic. Limp away. Hope you did your homework, no nat. He did. So when he commented on my video, he's like, you missed the point. And then he said something about, I might have to roast you now or something. I said, bring it on. Like,
yeah, dude. But, if he fucking tries, I would.
But there was nothing to roast.
No, I would love to see him try. I would love to see him try to substantiate these claims because they are fucking bizarre. Yeah. His tweet was basically, I'm old and you are young.
Yeah, right. So that means I'm wrong. I mean, I'm right.
I'm right. Yeah, exactly. Seniority. Cool.
Yeah.
I almost want to retweet. Like, I almost want to do a response tweet.
Go for it, dude.
This isn't what I do. This is you guys.
We bring out the worst in you. Yeah.
No, because I did it yesterday on my own. Like, I mean, I did.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have done it before had you not been on our fucking podcast, huh?
Oh no. So you got to go watch my videos from like 6 years ago. I used to do some videos on the controversial topic.
Yeah.
It was a lot of stuff got too negative.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's not just because it's controversial, it's because it's wrong.
Yes.
Right.
That is literally
honestly,
why we cover these things.
That's what we crack down the hardest on when it's wrong.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So there's a couple other things that I didn't read. So
it's like the addendums.
Well, no, it's the stuff in our chat. I'm sort of annoyed that Cody doesn't mention the exploration rules because those are light years past 5e's, saying you're searching on the interior of the desk drawer to find the hidden button system. Yeah, okay. I don't know much about the exploration rules myself, so it would have been nice.
Pathfinder?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know either.
From the An-Americans, they say, what gets me isn't even dislike of the system, it's the judgment he makes about the people that play it. Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Excuse me. His point was illusion of choice, but he isn't really explaining that. Yeah, he just kind of says it over and over and just expects you to understand. But apparently we didn't get it, so it's fine.
Yeah, we didn't get the point.
Yep.
Nobody did.
Yep. No one understands
unless
Cody.
They agree with him.
Right.
Unless they agree with him.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all I've seen. And they don't even say what they agree on. They just say, I agree.
Yep.
And he always
I
kind of
blindly follow you, Cody. Salutes. I remember when getting a new feat was like finding a magic sword. Those were the good days. Yeah.
I agree.
They're fun. I found Age of Ashes.
They're still the good days for me. I still get excited about leveling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I found Age of Ashes Volume 2 were very combat heavy, where you're, spoiler, finding and destroying 8 dragon pillars, and there are 2 set pieces with like 10 encounters each. But that's not a system problem. Exactly. That's a module
problem.
Yeah, the actual adventures problem. His video might create a problem at my own table where I push people from 5e to Pathfinder 2e. Ooh. Show them this. Show them this stream. Show them.
Yes.
It'll come up on Friday again. So
or mine, just show them mine.
Yeah, or any response.
Show them any Pathfinder 2e video that isn't Cody's.
Quite literally, go check out Juice's.
Like not this one.
Go check out No Nats. Go check out Bill's. Like, go show them everyone's. Like, literally,
Bill has some good tips, and it's nice and short.
Yeah. 4 isn't a bad game. Think of all those things, all the things people have scavenged from that wreck. Minions, for instance. I don't know enough about it.
That is true. Minions are pretty good.
We follow the meme of 4 doesn't exist, so it's fine.
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about with minions. Minions are good. Don't worry.
Did you guys need 4E to do that though?
No. No, it's just that that's just where it came from, and people just ripped it out.
I feel like I did that before 4E ever came out. Like, so I got into RPGs in like '97 with a game system that does not give you like CRs or anything. There's no so Palladium books. There's no CRs, nothing like that. Literally, you're given like a book, and then you're just on your own for the most part.
Yeah.
Right. And so we used to always do stuff like that, where it's like, well, yeah, it's got like no hit points really. One hit.
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah. Like that is
minions basically.
That as a concept has existed for a long time. It's just that it was published there, so a lot of people were able to see it who hadn't thought of it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
and so they're able to cannibalize it.
And it was in a Dungeons and Dragons book, which was the most popular one. Usually the most popular one. So just more people saw it there.
Yeah, the most popular game system.
Yes, or at least the most common.
Yes, that's more accurate.
Yeah, that's more what I mean. But yes, minions are good.
They said that beyond Bestiary 3, they'd get more creative. Yes. If we put up the screenshot now. Yeah. Hey. Oh, you commented a bunch. The analysis you guys have done in this chat was already way more specific and sophisticated than anything in this Reddit post on this stream. I mean, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Is the lesson here that people shouldn't make YouTube videos for games they haven't actually played? No, I don't think so.
Ouch.
Definitely not, because look, if he did a video tomorrow about Pathfinder 2e, I would watch that shit. I'm more intrigued now to hear what he has to say about Pathfinder than ever before.
He's played it. That's the thing. He's played it, and I would
I'm
say
a sucker.
There is a thing of like, yes, to an extent, if you start making claims about a system when you haven't played the system, then yes, there are a few things that you probably shouldn't be saying, and that's kind of very important to keep note of. But that doesn't mean you can't make a video on it, you know?
Yeah.
Talking about the Reddit post you were. Okay, yeah, and we're back to here. Exploration rules are great. Cool. Minions were a codified type of creature that always had 1 HP. Yep.
Yes.
Do you think he played when he made his 5e versus 2e videos? I don't know. I'll look at the date that the 5e versus 2e video came out.
Yeah, because he said that he's been playing for a little bit over a year with this Age of Ashes campaign. So hopefully he had played at least a little bit, or at the very least he got information on just the rules differences from the books. And really, if you're just comparing rules as written rules, that's really all you need.
Yep. The video from of 5e versus Pathfinder 2e was 7 months ago. So yes, he would have been playing.
Yeah, he would have been playing for 5 months.
Yes, or
more.
A little bit, yeah.
And I think he probably was one of the few people who may have even gotten before it came out.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yep.
There were a select few people who were promised it like a month before Gen Con.
That doesn't surprise me.
Didn't come for some of them.
Yeah. So I think yes, he did play it back then, and it was fun for him at that point because it hadn't gotten quote unquote old hat.
It was new and shiny.
Yes. But it's still cool and new and shiny and also really good, and also shut up, Cody. It's not bad. But yeah, there's not really much more to say about this. I thought this would take at least 3 hours, and it has. Yes.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, yeah. I knew it would because it was an 18-minute video.
Lars asked, do you think he played when he made his 5e versus 2e?
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't think he did.
No, he did. It was 7 months ago, so if he's been playing for a year, it lines up.
Oh, he made it then?
Yeah.
It feels like so much longer.
Yeah.
Damn,
it really
COVID.
does.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that's true. It has felt like 600 years.
Honestly, that's probably just because of 2020.
Yes, exactly.
Right. He does say Pathfinder 2e is really nice at lower levels. So maybe he hadn't
gotten there yet. I guess, yeah.
The patterns arise according to his
quote
video.
Unquote patterns and choices that you don't have, all of that. Ridiculous. It's so dumb. I don't like it. But yeah, that's basically everything.
Yeah.
Feels like forever since Cody made a good video.
I know.
Ooh.
What is a good video in your guys' opinion?
Well, that's what Pizza Funk said, and the last one that we watched that I enjoyed watching was the 5e versus 2e one. That was the one that we watched. That was really.
I did like that video.
Yeah, that was a good video. It had
I used to love his Kill Your Party videos.
I wish he had
KYP
named them
videos.
differently, but other than that, they're pretty good as far as.
Oh no, I love the name.
Yeah, sure.
I love to play up the adversarial bullshit.
Sure. I Miscellaneous says, "Boo, do you still keep up with Monster Hunter?"
Yeah, we're me and No Net Ones and Alan and Alejo, are you going to be getting Rise?
I don't have a Switch, so I can't.
Right.
Yeah.
You think you're going to be getting a Switch and picking up Rise?
Dude, if I somehow stumble onto the ability to within a long while, maybe.
3D print one.
I could 3D print a whole Switch, dude.
But yeah, we are going to be getting Rise. Me, No Net Ones, and Alan all played World together. That's his name.
I know, you're gonna call him that forever now.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And I can't wait for his reaction.
He's gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
Either he's gonna roll with it or he's gonna be like, what?
Well, he rolled with Cage, so I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, we're gonna be getting Rise because we played Monster Hunter World together. And yeah, so yeah, I still keep up with it.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I think we're good for this stream. Thank you all for coming out and interacting. It's been really fun. This is
it's been great getting lots of comments now.
Yeah, it's been the most that we've had for a while. And
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I wasn't here for any of this.
Thank you. No, but thank you for coming on. Honestly,
Yeah, no,
it was good to have you again.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
The pleasure's all yours.
We'll have to have you on again for like the full time.
I'd love it. For sure. I'm a busy guy, so we're running 6 streams a week now, and then I do a video or 2 a week. So,
jeez.
Did you see my post the other day of how much content I put out this year?
No, I didn't.
No,
21,000 hours or something.
Woohoo!
I don't know, something ridiculous.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really good.
So, to the point where YouTube emailed me, kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. You look at my Instagram, I posted it there. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
I'll share it to you guys.
I follow you with the TableTalk thing. So
I wonder how many emails 5 Minute Crafts gets and all those content farms.
Yeah, content farms.
It's like, stop, Jesus.
They're like, wow, you're putting up stuff with that India music channel over there.
You're doing it. T-Series, wow.
Yeah, T-Series. That's it.
But yeah. So thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. As always, as of now, we are doing streams on Tuesdays, 9 p.m. to whenever.
Yes.
So 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to whenever. So come and hang out when you can, and the VOD will be up on Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then it will be an audio only version on podcasting services on Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we also we're getting back into Devils and Dice. That's coming.
But not this week.
Well, this week we'll have last session, but next week we won't have a session because can't do it, unfortunately. But yeah.
Wait, no, I thought Aiden or Alan said that he.
Oh no,
I thought Alan said that he couldn't make it this week.
This week, yes, but tomorrow, last session gets put up.
Oh, yeah.
But that's on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So watch us play 3.5. It's really fun. Other than that, join us on all the socials. We have all those. They're in the description and on your screen right now.
Yes.
Do so. Join our Discord. We can hang out at some point and do shit together. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for coming by. Good night, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Adios.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Ugh.
Is this thing on?